We got live streams of them eating tomato soup in a packet. And I'm like, there are more important things. Look out. The guy's sitting there eating like a shrimp cocktail or whatever. And he's like, oh my gosh, if you looked out the window right now, the sun is setting behind the earth and you can see the northern lights on the top. I'm like, bro, turn the camera. I want to see this with you.
Yeah. And like, why would you not turn the camera?
Right. So it's fake. But my question is, why are they doing it? Why are they faking a Artemis 2 mission? Why? Because obviously,
I don't know. Maybe like distract from the many things that they're like, we can't control this, man. Everybody's mad about Iran. Everybody's mad about the Epstein files. Like, what are we going to do? They're all, let's fly to the moon. Let's fly to the moon. Let's do a moon landing.
Well, they've been planning it for a while. I do think now I've looked into the original moon landing a lot. I've talked to Bart Sabrell, the guy that
I know who he is. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So he lives here in Nashville. So I've talked to him. He has some great footage and some great documentary coverage. I do believe when they started the program in the early 1960s, they intended to go to the moon. Like they were like,
yeah, well, no, I agree.
It's just a rock and it's right there. And how hard can it be? As they got closer and closer to it, I think they thought they can't do this. I mean, the NASA guy resigned. The head of this is the thing he'd been working on his entire life. They get a year away from launch and he resigns.
Probably the moment that he knew this is outside there, it's hopeless. There's no chance.
Well, and then Gus Grissom, there's a high school named for him in Huntsville, but Gus Grissom gets to the point where he's like, wait a minute, this thing is a lemon. This is not going to fly to the moon. So they vaporized him right after.
He's the one that died in the fire, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And they didn't have to have anyone in there to pressure test it, but they did just to get rid of him. But Bart Sabrell, he goes at one point, I pulled the video footage up, but I can't find it this quick. But at one point he goes to one of the astronauts. He's like, put your hand on a Bible. Say you went to the moon, swear you went to the moon. The guy threatens him, kicks him out of the house, but he's smart. He leaves his camera. He leaves a recorder behind.
Yep.
And the guy's kid is like, do you want us to call the CIA and have him whacked?
Yeah, I was like, I've seen that one. And actually, not to correct you, but like exactly what happened was he had gone to all the other ones and they all refused to put their hand. But it was Edgar Mitchell. He put his hand on the Bible and swore. And then immediately after goes, I don't believe in this, though. He's like, but I don't believe in this. And then he's like, but you came here under false pretenses. Get out. Yeah. And then his son, as soon as they're out, goes, you want me to call the CIA and have him whatever, vaporize or whatever he said? Like that's a 100% true thing that happened.
Yes. It's not something that would happen if you went to the moon.
No. Yeah.
Someone said, put your hand on the Bible, swear you went to the moon. You go, okay, which you want me to do a particular verse, or what do we do? Just any old Bible?
Yeah.
Do we have the version? What version do you want to use? I mean,
and why is anybody calling the CIA to have people whacked out if they are trying to expose something that they're incorrect about?
Right.
Yeah.
And hey, they deleted all the telemetry footage. We just recorded over it. We had a Golden Girls episode we needed to get on camera. So
yeah,
the whole thing is really, really bizarre.
People get mad though, man. Like people, because in a situation like this, obviously, like you and I talking, we already know in advance that like we are open to ideas like this, and so we could start talking about it. But there are people, if you're just like at a dinner party with 10 people you don't know, and you go, oh man, it's just kind of silly that people still believe we went to the moon. Like you'll get 3 out of 10 people that'll be like, what the fuck did you say, dude? I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
No swearing. But yeah, it's like they get mad, man. Like they get mad.
I was at a poker game, not terrible, actually, it's a long time now, 2 or 3 years ago. But the moon landing came up and I was like, you guys think we went to the moon? And they were all like, I mean, the whole it was like, the guy pouring the pitcher of water, the water stopped in air.
The record goes off and everyone
turns and looks at me and they're like, what do you mean we didn't go to the moon? I was like, you really think we went to the moon? I start just the simplest of evidence and they're like, we went to the moon. I show up to the next poker game. They have framed a moon landing front page for the guy and now it's hanging up in his place.
Oh my gosh. Hey, speaking of that though, just because you brought that up, I've been wanting to show this. Okay. So my dad gave me this box of my grandpa's stuff. My grandpa was a World War II veteran and he's like, here, go through this, see if there's anything in there that you want. And I found a framed newspaper article from when they surrendered and we won World War II that he had kept. And just, there's something so funny. I don't even want to say it out loud, but look at this, dude. Okay. So it says Truman announces war over, and then MacArthur to rule. Isn't that insane? That's on the front page of the paper, dude.
You know what's funny? In my closet right there, I could go pull it out. I have the Indianapolis Star from the day they surrendered.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get it framed. And I have the Indianapolis Star from the day they landed on the moon.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah, I have both of those. My grandma had them. And when she passed away, we inherited a bunch of her news. She was kind of a pack rat in a good way, Like she was nostalgic, and she knew one day she would want to reflect on that moment. And so she kept all that kind of stuff. And so I want to get that framed. I'm also, one of my listeners sent me this. This is from the day Robert F. Kennedy got shot.
Whoa. Like that's like from Dallas. They had it up at Dallas.
Not JFK, his brother, RFK, when he got shot at the Ambassador Hotel.
Oh, by what's his name?
Allegedly by Sirhan Sirhan.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't actually who shot him. I mean, I think Sirhan may have fired some shots, but I don't think he fired the fatal shot. But yeah. So his brother was there that day, and in all the chaos, he grabbed a stack of posters and ran off with it. And so I was talking about that one day, and one of my listeners was like, I have a poster from that day if you want it. And so I'm going to get that framed and hang it up over there on the other.
That's so cool, man. That's like, that's cool.
Like, I love history.
Me too.
I fell in a rabbit hole a few years ago, and I went and I started reading biographies of Indians in the West and people who confronted Indians in the West. Mm-hmm. So Comanches, Navajo, Crow, Lakota, the Sioux Indians. Like, I started reading these biographies, and all of a sudden, because I grew up sort of standard mainstream right wing Reagan Bush, and all of a sudden I started thinking, I'm not sure what we did to those people was right.
Oh.
It was a hard truth to confront in my life.
History is full of conquerors that I'm fundamentally don't understand the mindset of these conquerors that just seem to have no regard for human life if they're not in their tribe at all. Where you're like, geez, man. Well, but it's all over the world. It's like all over the world.
It's happening right now.
It's happening right now.
I mean, this is the same thing. It happened in World War II where the Germans looked east and were like, we could use all that land.
Yeah. And we were like, oh, the Japanese, they bombed our Pacific fleet. They're like, I guess we can just eradicate all these people that are in all these cities. We'll just firebomb all of them. You're like, geez.
And it's hard because I recognize that there are times when you've got to fight. If someone breaks in your door, they kick in your door and they're armed or they're, I assume anyone that enters my house is up to no good, right?
Of course.
So if someone kicks in your door or they come on your lawn and they're causing a ruckus, it may be time to fight. But I look out at global conflict and I think, how could you be okay being the decision maker that eradicates even just a small village, much less miles and miles of small villages or major cities or I'm going to drop a nuclear bomb on 2 major Japanese cities with tens of thousands of people in them. You believe in the nuclear program? You think that's real? I know that's a kind of a thing going around now. People don't
that the nuclear program's not real?
Yeah, there's no such thing as a nuclear bomb. I keep hearing this over and over.
Oh yeah, no, I know way too much about that program to think it's not real. Yeah, it's real.
I wish
it wasn't, dude. Believe me, more than anything.
I watched a video this morning on how they get the uranium-235 enriched. Because they always talk about, Iran, they're enriching. And I thought, what the hell's enrichment mean? It's a really cool process.
Yeah.
It's a very exact
centrifuges, spin, they pull out the lighter, the particles they get, like the lightest ones are the ones you got to pull out.
It's the middle one, which makes it so hard.
Is it the middle one?
Yeah, there's U-234, there's U-235, and there's U-238. That's how it comes naturally. There's no 236 or 7. And so you have to separate the 235, which is the one you want, for nuclear power, for nuclear submarines, for nuclear bombs. You have to get that 235. So in order to do it, you have to suspend the 235 between the 234 and the 238. And in order to do that, you have to spin it at an exact right speed or else it'll mush up this way or it'll mush up this way. You have to separate them exactly right. And I think it's like 1,000,000 G you have to reach, like 1,000,000 times gravitational force to get that exact separation. I'm sure there's some perfect number that they'll never give on the internet, but it's a very, very high number. But before you can even do that, you have to turn it into a gas. That's the part I didn't know about.
I didn't know about that either. You have to turn the uranium into a gas before you spin it.
Yeah. So what it said is, a fluid by definition is a homogeneous mixture that takes the shape of its container. So the two forms of that are liquid and gas, right? And so they said you could turn into a liquid and do it, but that's harder than just go ahead and turn into a gas, because the centrifuge is more effective if it's a gas. So you turn the uranium into a gas, you spin it at the exact right amount, and then you have to siphon off the different one. It's like a super complex thing.
I've seen like renditions of it on the ends, where like what do you call it? Animated renditions of it, and it's like, and then it'll just every once in a while, it's like, and there you go, there's one particle.
Yeah.
And there's one particle. You know what I mean? And there's like, it just looks, it's arduous. I mean, obviously, because it takes, I remember when we, in the original program, and we had the two different, we had the plutonium, option over here, and then we had the uranium option over there. And then while the scientists were but it was like the amount of time it took to produce enough for an atomic bomb was so long, it was so arduous that it was like, we dropped one on Hiroshima, and then we had just enough for like another one, and then we had just enough for another one, and that's when Truman was like, okay, that's enough. Like, I'm going to put the kibosh on this now. They were just going to keep doing it.
It would have been a different world we're facing now if we'd have never figured it out.
And had we not used it, this is something my dad actually convinced me of that I hadn't really because he's like, thank God we used the bombs. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. And I he didn't explain his logic at all initially. And I was like, thank God we used the bombs. And he's like, it's because if humans didn't actually see what it does to a city, like see it, then what would have happened is we would have the arms build up, and then we would have multiple, fully armed countries, and we would have found out all at once. And it was like, because we actually saw what it did to cities, it was like, because that's the whole reason it's a deterrent, is because if you have multiple people with nukes, you already know what it's going to do. And humans are ruthless, but nobody wants to take one of those hits. And so it's like, all right, well, we don't want to use it because we don't want to get hit with one of them. You know what I mean?
I think after what happened to Libya in 2012, 13, 14, I think I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but I think any country would be foolish to not try to get them.
I completely agree.
And to dismantle the program once you have it. Like, once you're close, go ahead and get them. Look what happened in North Korea. They essentially are now just left alone. No one messes with them, because they could flatten Seoul in 10 minutes. I mean, they're 20 miles away.
Yep.
Move one of those into position and just, you could almost launch it over with a catapult. I mean, it's that close.
Yeah, they had that one. I've seen the one video where they made a warhead that they shot out of like one of those like German 88 guns. But it's an American version of that. But this is like boom, and it was it's the size of the Hiroshima bomb. They literally shot it out of a gun. It's like, yeah.
And so Libya thought they were going to become world's friends in the mid 80s. They're like, okay, we'll give up our nuclear program, and you guys will accept us, and you'll trade with us, and you'll allow us to grow and prosper. And they did for a little while, until one day they were like, all right, we've had enough of you. We're going to come in here and hang you in front of everybody and drag you through the streets. Okay, well, after that, I think everybody was like, we probably need one of these.
Yeah, I mean, Pakistan, you never, ever hear any kind of talk about Pakistan the way you hear about Iran or any of these, because Pakistan figured out how to do it, and that's the only difference. They have atomic weaponry with delivery systems, and so everyone's like, Pakistan, they're good.
They became a world player. They became a world player instantly, overnight. Same with North Korea. All of a sudden, we had all this bellicose language towards North Korea forever, and then all of a sudden, people are like, yeah, we'll be fine. We'll leave them alone. They won't be a problem. Same thing with South Africa. South Africa dismantled their nuclear program. Their government immediately collapses, and now they're just slaughtering everybody, and no one's paying any attention to it. Yeah. Well, you shouldn't have given up your nuke program.
Yeah. What's crazy that I hadn't even thought about until just this moment right now is how, if you want to, why people are looking at what's going on right now in terms of our sudden foreign policy change, with this, at least, with this administration. And they're like, how did you guys not see this coming? And I just remembered that the first time he did the big summit with Kim Jong-un, it was like, oh, we've got the North Korean flag, the United States flag, and all the propaganda was like, the audacity of them to platform him like this. I'm like, he's going there to be friendly with a nuclear power. How is this a bad thing? What are you guys talking about?
It was
like, that's what we thought we're voting for. And then all of a sudden, just on a dime, it's like, we're going to, they can't have it's like a personality transplant. You know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, the only reason he walked onto their soil is because they had a nuke.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And
but
it was
friendly.
Real. I got up at 2 or 3 in the morning to watch that, where he gets up and he walks into their country, shakes his hand, and I'm like, that's a weird moment. I actually have a friend who's been in North Korea, but he's only been in the little DMZ. You know, like they have a meeting room where half of it's in North Korea, half of it's in South Korea, and there's like
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, there's like a right on the border. There's a meeting room, and there's a line going right down the middle, and half of it's in North Korea and half is in South Korea. And they invited him. He was just there with his dad, but he walked around the table into North Korea. And I thought, hey, they snatch you. There's nothing anybody can do. You're gone. Yeah. You're gone. My favorite conspiracy theory is that North Korea is really just a CIA black site. That's where we take people.
Can you imagine if that ended up being true? That there's like, it's all lies. Everything that you know about North Korea, the Kim Jong-un, all this ridiculous stuff, like the fake fruit and you just find out it's like, no, it's none. We made that up.
Yeah, it's just a CIA black site. They're probably fine. They're living. They're having good lives. But they have these massive black site prisons where we put all our political prisoners and all the people that we want to disappear. They just go to North Korea and we just.
That's where all the anti-gravity scientists that are disappearing are at.
They're up to 11 now. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
11 of these nuclear scientists, gravity scientists, physicists. They're all just disappearing off.
What is going on? Do you is there okay? This is like as of today, when I saw the 11th, I'm like, this is impossible for people to not be talking about at this point. And I mean, I never knew who any of these people were before. Is it possible that this is a psyop? Like they're like, oh, this one disappeared. And you're like, they're just making people up? Because otherwise, like, what is going on? They're leaving their phones behind?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, some of them are coming up dead. I mean, some of them are just some of them are just disappearing off the face of the earth. It could be that they're being called into service. It's like, hey, we're ready to go. Now's the moment. The aliens are waking up in the mountain. Have you seen anything about those tridactyl, 3-toed, 3-fingered aliens in Peru?
I've seen I mean, this is not that's not like new, right? Like you're not
the last couple of years.
In Peru?
Yeah. So
I saw some stuff about like the Brazilian incident from the 90s where they said that there was James Fox did a documentary about it, but maybe not Peru. I don't know. Tell me about it.
So in Peru, they have they've uncovered these mummies. They have 3 fingers, 3 toes, but it's not like they're missing 2. They just only have 3. They did an MRI of them. They like put the mummy in the MRI machine and they have ribs, they have organs, they have a like vascular system. You can see all of this preserved. And you could see like the individual joints. And the guy that did the MRI, he was like a radiologist. He said, there is no way anyone would be able to fake this. It's absolutely impossible. You could not.
How many of them are there?
I think they have a few, 4 maybe, something like that. But they look like aliens. I mean, they have weird heads. They have weird bodies. Their shape is wrong for humans. But they have 3. They're tridactyl. I mean, they have 3 fingers. That's it. No thumb, just 3 fingers and 3 toes.
Are they carbon dating them? Do you know what, like when they're from?
I don't know the answer to that. And I don't know if the mummification process would stop the aging process or anything. Is Daisy going to pull them up?
Yeah. Yes. Let's see.
See if you can find the MRI image. There's one that was, I think, fake. That's it right there. Pull that up. Look at that. You can't fake that. That's inside a mummy's casing. See if you can pull that picture up on the right to make it big.
I want to see its hands.
Yeah, can you make that any bigger? But this thing is weird. Like it does. It's not as if it's lost its thumb and pinky. It only has the 3 bones in the hand too.
Look at that shape of its head too.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks like it's. Hold
on. Let me.
It looks like it has to house a bigger brain.
Yeah. Let me see here. Tridactyl.
Have they said how tall they are? Like, are they like bigger, smaller?
I think they're like 5. Oh, here's a good image. Let me pull this one up, Daisy. This is a good one here. Let me pull this. You're gonna love this. This tripped me out when I saw it, and the fact that nobody talked about it, I was like, oh, okay, that means it's real. Look at this thing. See that?
Oh my gosh!
And
that noggin.
I know, but the radiologist who did this was like, you can't fake this. Look at his feet. It only has 3 toes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at the length of its toes.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you think that thing can climb a tree. But look at his hand. Hold on. Let's get an angle of the hands here. Look at the hands. See how long those fingers are? And there's no like evidence in here that these were cut off in any way.
Dude, it has teeth like us.
Yeah.
It has look at how slender its arm bone looks.
Look
it
how
looks
long
like
that humerus is. The humerus hangs down to his hip.
yeah.
I mean,
man, that thing would be a nightmare to fight.
I'd be like Predator.
Dude, it would be punching you like from farther away than you could kick it.
But the guy that looked at this was like, you couldn't possibly fake this because you wouldn't even know how to begin to fake all this. And then you would encase it. This would be what, years ago you encased this in a mummy?
It's crazy that that mummification keeps the organic matter intact like that for this, like forever.
Yeah, but I think the reason it does is because it takes all the moisture out.
Yeah,
like
is that what it is? It's like freeze drying them or whatever.
Yeah, it's like salted ham. You know, you just go buy them in the grocery store on the shelf. You know, it's so salted. But look at you can see this.
How many ribs does it have?
I don't know. I have never.
How many ribs does a human have?
I have no idea. I broke one of them not long ago.
Oh my God, how much does that hurt,
dude? It was a nightmare. You know how I broke it?
Huh?
I broke it on a foam roller.
Hey, I had 24 ribs.
My back on a foam roller. I had the foam roller out and I was like rolling down my back and it was feeling good. I had a pulled muscle. We were doing kettlebell swings and I wasn't warm enough to do them. And I pulled my back muscle. And so it felt good rolling it on that foam roller. And while I was doing it, I got a little back crack and I was like, ooh, that felt good. Let me get another one. And I started and then at one point I just like leaned all the way in it. I felt a crunch and the air went out of me. It punctured part of my lung.
Oh my God. On just a foam roller.
On a foam roller. And I went into I kind of for a few days just tried to get by it. I actually worked out. I did a running and pull up workout. It was miserable.
Oh yeah.
But I thought I'll just work out. I just pulled a muscle or guts. And then I thought maybe the rib just kicked out of place. So I thought I'd go to a chiropractor, see if he can like crack it back into place.
Ooh.
But at one point I had like my eyes were watering every time I rolled over in bed. And I thought I could go to the doctor. So I went to the bone and joint clinic here in town. They took an x-ray and the lady goes, you had a broken rib. I was like, what? I was like, are my bones like super brittle? She goes, no, the bones look great. She's like, what did you do? And I was like, well, I was leaning on a foam roller. She's like, don't do that.
She said that like, that's like people break their rib doing that often.
Well, I did. She was like, don't do that again. Like, obviously that didn't work out for you. But I separated the cartilage in my ribs one time. I was trying to do this technique in jiu-jitsu where you like, it's an entry into a knee bar, but like you have to kind of slide under and then contort your body when you capture their leg. And I did it, and instantly it felt it like popped, and it hurt. So it wasn't broken, but God, I couldn't do anything for 3 weeks. Like I couldn't train, I couldn't do anything for 3 weeks, and it wasn't even broken. Well, it was my broken back rib, kind of. She said like the number 10 or 11 rib. I don't know how many are back there, but I couldn't get my heart rate up because she didn't want me breathing heavy. And so I couldn't do anything for days, not lift anything. Then she was like, after 2 weeks, if you're not feeling too much pain, you can lift up to 15 pounds to your shoulder, nothing overhead. You can sort of get I sat on the bike at the gym and just sort of got my heart rate up just so I didn't lose everything. And then after 4 weeks, I could lift, I think she said 50 pounds overhead or something, and then work out as long as it wasn't hurting. And then after like 6 or 8 weeks, I was fine. You know?
Nice. Give me 1 second. It is 1,000 degrees in here. I got to open this door. I'm going to die.
That's all right. We're watching Jesse cook in real time, ladies and gentlemen. He's absolutely, it's a sauna.
Oh,
do you have a sauna?
Oh my God. I just got hit with like, the air just dropped 5 degrees in here. It is a hot box in here. I don't know what is going on. There's an air conditioning vent in here. It's the only room in my entire house that does this, but with the studio lights, and I can't climate control it. It's so hot, man.
So my studio lights are LED. They don't put off much heat. Are yours halogen lights?
Wait, hang on. I'm sorry. Gabrielle, are you talking to me? I'm live streaming. If you want to talk to us, come up here, please. She's explaining to me why like the air doesn't work. I'm like, I couldn't hear her, but I'm sorry. What did you say?
Well, this room is simultaneously the coldest and hottest room in the house. In the winter, it's the coldest room. In the summer, it's the hottest room. Yeah. And when you stream, you have to have your room cool enough so your camera doesn't overheat. And so before I go on, I turn the air way down, and I come out. Everybody's wrapped up in blankets because, this room does not match the rest of the house.
Yeah, I don't know
why. I haven't figured out a way to cool this room off without freezing everybody out.
Yeah.
Do you have halogen lights? Why does it get so hot when the lights are on?
See, this is one of those things where I always try to explain this to people. It's like, listen, if I compliment myself on anything, I just want you guys to understand that this comes at the expense of fundamental common sense and ability to answer very, very simple questions. And this would be one of those moments. I married Gabrielle because she's so much smarter than me. I have no idea. Like, I just know I'm hot. Like, I just, that's all I just know I'm hot, man.
Dude, I had Zach on last week. He was in here a minute ago. I don't know if he's still here. But he was so shadowed, and I've never noticed it watching him before. But I've got the lighting, and I've spent time getting it just right. And I had a professional producer come in here and move everything around to where the shadows would fall just right, and the background would look okay. And so after the show with Zach, I was like, "Here's the lights I have. Just order them from Amazon. For under $1,000, you're gonna look amazing.
Yeah.
Just order it, put them up. Don't ever think about it again.
Yeah."
So the next day he came on, he looked amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, apparently they have overnight delivery too.
Dude, I made fun of Danks because Danks had the old, like, for some reason, like, there's a certain kind of streamer and they always film themselves like this, and they're just like,
oh yeah.
And they all do it. I was like, Danks, dude, you're one of the slouch, like the slouch crew, like they all do it. They film themselves from above. It's like, Destiny, Danks, and like a lot of, it's just like, that's the style. It's like they just sit, they kind of slouch, and then they've got, they're all relaxed and they're doing research while they're talking.
Yeah, they sit like this the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would hurt my back. I go
Me
too long.
too.
I've got to sit up, or I've got bad enough posture.
How tall are you? Danks a big boy, dude.
He looks like a big boy. I'm right at 6 feet.
Yeah.
Well, how tall are you?
5'10".
You look taller on camera.
I'm 5'10", 195.
You keep your head right at the top of the camera. I try to stay more.
It ends up just being like that. Like I have like a little stand thing, but I try to make it even if I can, but I don't like it. I don't think there's a lot of people that have it lower looking up. That would be weird.
Know who's huge? Ian Carroll.
Oh, I know. He's like 6'9".
I know. I saw a picture of him standing around other people one time, and I was like, "What? Is he on something?" And then you look at the.
He told me that. Yeah. Yeah, he told me that. Like, where he just said something about it, and I'm like, "Wait, how tall are you?" He's like 6'9". I'm like, "You're 6'9"?
I've never heard the number, but he is a big boy.
That's 6'9" is enormous.
Yeah, one of my very, very good friends is 6'8", and it does not matter where you go. You could go to Publix with him, you could go to a restaurant with him, you could go to a ball game with him. It does not matter. You are going to hear, "How tall are you?"
Yeah,
because he's 6'8", and then, I mean, when you're 6'8", you're tall.
Oh yeah, and
like,
the thing about that too is, like, I've been around a lot of pro athletes because of, like, not a conversation that matters, but I've just have been around a lot of NFL, NBA, whatever guys. The NFL guys, you look at them, and if you were going to describe them, they just look like if you were going to build the most athletic human in a lab. Like, that's what, and they all look like that, where you just look, you're like, they look so strong, and you're like, man, I bet if that guy ran, he'd be lightning fast. You can just look at him. Yeah. But the NBA guys look like they're a different species. You're just like, how, and like, they don't even fit in your eye line. You look at what, and you're like, oh my God, they're so gigantic. It's like your brain can't process it. So
I lived with my sister my freshman year at Auburn, and through a girl I went to high school with, she knew one of the basketball players at Auburn. He was a cousin of hers. And so I got to be friends with him the summer before, because he'd moved up to where we were living here, where I was living at the time before I went to school. So the summer before I went to school, I got to know him because he was working up there. And so when I went to Auburn, he was the only person I knew, really. And so we started hanging out. My sister worked at a hospital in about 45 minutes away. She comes home from work one night, and he's got all his friends over, and they're at our house, and we're just hanging out and all standing up. I mean, we're probably drinking like Natural Light or something. It was freshman year at Auburn. Mm-hmm. And my sister opens the door, and there was a ball player at Auburn at the time named Mamadou Njai, another guy named Randy Hughes. Mamadou Njai was a legit 7 feet.
I was going to say, he sounds like he's 7 feet.
Yeah. Randy Hughes was a legit 6'10". And we lived in a trailer. Mamadou had to stand like this because he couldn't stand all the way up in his shoes. He had to like he stood like this all night while we were in the play. And my sister walks in. She was like, ah! Because you're right. It's like walking into aliens.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not normal human beings. They're too tall. My second year at Auburn, a buddy got me a job where I helped move the cables under the cheerleaders' feet during the game so that the cameras could get up and down the sidelines. And just my job was just to stand there and make sure the cables didn't get up as they were moving around. Those ball players, when they would tackle on the sidelines and come flying across, those are some of the biggest human beings on the planet.
Yeah.
And this was the mid to late 90s. This was not like now. I mean, they're even bigger and stronger now with all the PEDs that everybody uses and claims are legal. How'd you get into jiu-jitsu? Why'd you get into jiu-jitsu? I saw you mention that.
So I was always like a martial arts guy. Like I did a lot of like kickboxing and Muay Thai, like long time ago. And I did that. And then jiu-jitsu I ended up doing because I put my daughter in it. I knew more about jiu-jitsu than probably any person who has ever started doing jiu-jitsu to begin with, because I knew so much about like mixed martial arts. But I just like with kickboxing and Muay Thai, like there's a certain point where if you're not going to do it professionally, it's like, what am I doing? Like, why am I getting kicked in the head? Why am I getting punched? You know, what am I doing? And it's like, I'm good enough that I could just say like, this is a box I've checked. I can kick a person in the head. I can do whatever, but like, I don't need to like do this. And when I started doing jiu-jitsu, it was like, oh, this is very different. This is a lifelong pursuit where there's no end to it. You don't take any head trauma. I mean, you sacrifice your body to a certain extent for sure, but like you're not taking head trauma, and it ends up just consuming your life the same way that golf does. That's why it's very similar to golf, except golf is about refining and perfecting basically 1 or 2 or 3 simple motions that are very, very hard to do. And then jiu-jitsu is about these incredibly technical and challenging techniques that like, and you're problem solving against a person who is trying to do the same thing against you. And you don't really realize how effective it is until you've been training for like, call it maybe 6 months. And then you get someone who comes in on their first day and you look, you're like, whoa, this dude looks dangerous. And then you literally do whatever you want with him. Like there's nothing they can do. And you're like, oh my gosh, this stuff really works. And then
is it as gay as it looks?
Oh, it's super gay.
Yeah, I'm just
so gay. You really do have to get used to people like really in your space. You know, like like people are in your space. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where when you are trying to practice a specific every technique feels like magic when it works. So you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that actually worked. And but then once you get it, it's like you just pack it into this algorithm that's now your skill set. It's like, if they do this, then I do this. If I do this, they do this. And then if I want them to do that, then I'll do this, and then they'll do that. And like, it's the most satisfying thing ever when you actually learn something and then perfect it. And you're like a judo throw to a whatever. It's just, I love it, man. I love it.
Well, I go to a CrossFit gym and they sometimes will pull the mats out. Several of the guys also do jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And they'll pull the mats out and roll around the ground. And it's the gayest looking thing I've ever seen.
Oh, like, it's so gay. But it's like, hi, this is gay. And oh my God, he can totally just shatter my arm if he wants to.
Yeah.
So,
and they're always getting hurt. These guys are always hurt.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, why are you doing it? Why would you do something where you're always hurt? You know,
I don't, but my first year to year and a half, I used to think of sparring as I was trying to win, and I would go super hard and I would get exhausted and then I would get hurt. And then I realized that like now I consider it I call it cheating with speed or cheating with strength. So like I go in slow motion all the time. So I go slow, because if I do the technique right, there's no reason I should have to do it fast. There's no reason I should have to do it hard. And I got so much better so fast when I started doing that. And I also stopped getting hurt as much, because
my 5-year-old went to a couple classes with a friend of his, and I'll admit that was cute.
Dude, my kids are savages, man.
Are they really?
My 3 daughters, all of them, yeah.
But can't you defeat it? I've seen these videos on YouTube. I've never done it, obviously. Can you not defeat it just by not getting on the ground, like standing up, and then the guy gets on the ground, you like just walk away?
Oh, when they go, yeah, no. I mean, if someone who's good. Yeah. And I mean, like, there are these guys who are 300 pounds and they're like, yeah, why don't you stand up? It's like, okay, well, I mean, you're 300 pounds and you're as strong as an ox. Like, maybe that would work. It wouldn't work with any, I mean, like, if you came and hey, try that technique with any of the heavyweight black belts at my school that are like the, best in the world. You just stand up and then they'll just break your arm before you stand up. But with people who are even moderately near your, actually, I don't even think it really matters size. If someone's really, really, really good, it doesn't matter if you stand up because they'll just attack your leg and they'll do that. It's like, there's always an answer. Just standing up. It just depends on what their skill set is. If someone's not good at attacking legs and they only know how to do one thing and someone just stands up, then that defeats their jiu-jitsu. But if you have like a complete skill set, that's not going to work. It won't work.
What time do you have to get out of here?
Whenever. I mean, I'm live streaming now to my audience, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. I didn't know if you could do that on the member show.
I did. I just tried it and checked and it was working.
We mentioned politics a second ago. I saw somebody in the comments say that someone thwarted a radioactive drone attack in London. Hold on, let me pull this story.
Today?
Just a couple hours ago. Drones carrying radioactive substances. Here, let me see here.
Oh man.
Let me see if I can find a non-biased version.
Good luck.
Yeah. I read like 3 headlines. Like, nope, not reading that one. Nope, not reading that one. Iran behind botched drone attack on Israeli embassy in London.
Oh yeah. Hey, sure they are.
Yeah, that's
sure they are.
That's kind of how I look at it. Criminals linked to Iran. Okay, so not Iran behind, but criminals linked to Iran may have launched a botched attempt to target the Israeli embassy. What? Drones to threaten the building, which abuts. That's this is a British paper. We would never say abuts.
Their link to Iran is that they were Israelis whose link to Iran is they want America to attack Iran.
I've been waiting for a false flag. Maybe this is it. Maybe because if they really wanted to do it and they had a drone, why didn't they just attack them? How did they get foiled?
If they're smart, if they are very sophisticated, and I would imagine they would have to at least have their ear to the ground and be able to recognize if we attack the United States, everyone's going to believe it's us. And so this is probably not the right time to do it.
Yeah. I'm of the belief that like ISIS and Al Qaeda are creations of Western powers.
There's even in the official story, there's definitely truth to that. Al Qaeda being the outcome of our arming of Afghanistan with the
Mujahideen.
Mujahideen. But yeah, I mean, I certainly think that there is a high probability also that the entire thing was a intelligence operation that then became this branded thing, and then it became real because they did such a good job promoting it that then all of these Arabs who had been displaced by American aggression are like, I want to be, Al Qaeda Iraq is maybe like that like could have been real just because, but
well, it reminds me of the old joke. If you show up at a Klan meeting and there's 50 people there, there's 49 feds and you. So that's kind of what that reminds me of. There might have been some true believers that were like, hey, I'll join.
Yeah.
But the vast majority of them were like, who's the new guy?
Yeah. I assume that in any circle that I'm in where, I don't know, where people have hypercritical opinions of those guys over there, I'm like, somebody here is an agitator and they're just writing down names. I feel like,
I feel that way about most right-wing groups in America. Mm-hmm. Like right-wingers don't form groups.
The ones that do, they're quiet.
Well, yeah, that could be. But the whole like Gretchen Whitmer thing.
Oh, yeah.
The group that Timothy McVeigh belonged to before Oklahoma City. Those didn't strike me as real groups. Like
I don't know. I haven't looked at the Timothy McVeigh one, but I do believe that there are like these weird separatist camps, but they're like not online. They're not, I mean, I couldn't name one for you, but and honestly, as I say this, like I'm actually pulling this from a Hollywood movie that I watched. So this is probably not like the most like intelligently laid out, opinion, but I can't remember. It was like with Jude Law in it. Because Jude Law was in this movie, and it was recent. And then I looked it up and read about it, and I think it was like it was based on the Turner thing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
There was like a book called the Turner Diaries or something like that. And it was a fictional book about how this group of white separatists overthrew the American government, and then this outspurt from it was were these separatist groups. And I'm pretty sure that the one Timothy McVeigh was a member of was part of that too. I could be butchering this. Like I said, I pulled it from a movie.
Yeah, someone asked on a live stream, I think it was last night, maybe it was 2 nights ago. Someone said, is there anything that's ever happened that's been real? Or is every major event in American history been a psyop? And I started thinking like Civil War seemed kind of like a psyop. The World War I certainly seemed like a psyop. World War II seemed like a psyop. Vietnam War, Korea. I started going through the major things, and I started thinking, well, what about the minor things? Like, maybe Littleton, what's the school shooting in Colorado? The famous one.
Columbine.
Maybe Columbine was real, but I don't even know if that was real, or if they sort of prodded those guys and moved them like, all right, we got to do some gun control, move along, and especially in the online world now where everybody's connected 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you want to radicalize somebody, I don't think it would be that hard right now. I think you could radicalize somebody in a second.
I agree. I would hope that I could de-radicalize someone if they just let me get a hold of them for a little while and just be like, look, man, because it seems like to me there's almost, because I always fall back to when someone gets mad, which usually is the emotion that drives people into stuff like that, but just in smaller deal stuff. And they'll come to me for advice. Like, this is what I'm thinking about doing. And I'll go, what's your stated goal? Like, what are you trying to accomplish with this? And usually they'll lay it out and I'll go, okay, but think it through from there. Like, this is what's actually going to happen. Like, this is going to happen. The outcome of people's actions is so predictable if you really calmly think it through. And it's just tough to think of a situation where any kind of violent, radicalized action is going to lead to anything that anyone wants, including the people who do it.
Yeah, I try to, like, in my online discussions, I've had several people like, what are we going to do about it? When's it time to do something? Hey, you're probably not going to really affect the outcome all that much. I mean, vote, engage in the online discussion, the free marketplace of ideas. But I think the founder's idea that if things got out of control and the government got too tyrannical, people could just rise up and overthrow the government. I think that's kind of quaint and dated at this point. You might be able to elect the right people here and there from time to time who might have some sort of an ability to indent the deep state at some point. But I don't think that's, I think our best bet now is just to try to live and adjust with what's happening.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, in terms of that concept, I just was talking about this the other day, how when people say the Second Amendment is to keep a tyrannical government at bay, and they're like, people think that what that means is that people are going to get together and they're going to rise up and start shooting at the government and whatever. And I'm like, nah, they're obviously not going to do that, but I do think that it keeps tyrannical government at bay in so much as if they wanted to. Example being something so tyrannical, like, we decided that we're going to institute this where, the representative that's in charge of your town is going to come have sex with your wife on the first night of your marriage. And we're also going to take your kid for a year. Like, people are going to start getting killed then. And they know that, so it's like, there's a line that they know they can't cross because they have an armed public. And if the people didn't have guns, they literally could just go, yeah, we're going to come, we're going to sleep with your wife. We're going to take your kids. We're going to do whatever. And they could do whatever they want. It's like, I think of it like that it puts limits on what they can do at the individual family level, kind of, you know what I mean?
I look at Afghanistan as a prime example because it's easy to conquer a territory. It's very hard to hold it if the public's armed. So, if you want to come in and conquer my little town, I live in a town of, I don't know, 60, 70,000 people. You want to conquer my town, it would not be hard to establish air superiority. But you have two options. You either kill absolutely every last person there, or you have to establish boots on the ground that can hold the town. And if we outnumber you and we're armed, we just wait for the mechanized division to leave and we take out the people who are remaining. And so the armed populace to me is to push back a true occupation more than it is to overthrow sort of the centralized system.
That's exactly right. I think we're literally saying the exact same thing. Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Because we saw on January 6th what happens when people get a little too animated and think, okay, well, if I can occupy this building, that means I occupy the government. No, that does not mean you occupy the government. You have to occupy every military base. You have to occupy the weapon systems. You have to occupy the million or so people in uniform. You have to take out all the cabinet. I mean, it would be an absolute undertaking. I've got something floating around in my eye that's driving me crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that whole thing was, I love the video of Alex Jones on, Alex Jones is crazy. You're like, hey, he didn't seem that crazy on January 6th when he's standing outside the line. He said, don't fall for it. Do not go in. They're trapping you. Don't go in. They're trapping you. Like, I don't really understand how his brain works, but that guy he's some form of that, like, a thin line between genius and insanity. And like, he is some form of genius and also halfway crazy. And I like it.
Do you think he changed it all after the $1 billion verdict against him? Do you think that compromised him at all?
I think that. So I know of, man, I'm not sure if I should tell this story actually.
Well, we're dying to hear it.
So one thing that I know happened at while that was going on, and right in the thick of it, was Alex was trying to call on his friends with big platforms to help him, where he was like, they're doing this to me, help. And he had a couple public crash outs that people don't know about because people no one wanted to get involved. And so I think because they did it to him. Then subsequently, that guy who was on the hidden camera on O'Keefe Media, who's like, oh yeah, that CIA guy, he admitted it. He's like, oh yeah, that was an operation to take him off the map, yada yada. I think that, I mean, when he had that crash out with Candace, I couldn't figure out what I was looking at. I was like,
neither. That's why
I don't understand what he's doing, because clearly it was not about Israel, because now he's hammering them again.
Right.
I thought maybe that he had been compromised because of the finances, but that was weird. That was super weird, because Candace never attacked him at all.
No, not only did she not attack him, she's always stuck up for him and always protected him. Even behind the scene, if you talk to her off air, she's very protective of him.
Yeah. He apologized. He apologized now.
He did.
Yeah.
She is very protective of, I always call it the insurgent right, or this insurgent group of people who just refuse to go along with not only the Fed slop on the main topic of the day, but just have a general philosophical framework that is generally resistant to federal narratives or
100%,
or to global narratives. She's very protective of those people, even if they don't like her.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that that's a mark of character, that you can stick up for someone that you might not agree with.
Totally.
This person's bad mouthing me, but I understand generally that this is a decent, honest person, and we're just disagreeing on this particular issue right now.
That's the only thing that I care about, is that if someone's saying what they believe to be true, I might spaz out. If let's say they're talking about me, I might have a momentary whatever, but I don't have an actual problem with anyone that I think is being at least an honest actor and sharing ideas that they believe are true, even if I think they're wrong.
Yeah, I think if people knew how these influencers, the mainstream influencers, made their money, their audiences would evaporate overnight.
For sure.
And Ashley St. Clair is sort of doing a little, I don't know if you've been following her stuff.
I did a video about her and the Benny thing last night and made fun of her because she's obnoxious, but yeah.
Well, she is, but when she came out and she was like, you guys don't understand how these people are making their money, because you can't make a living. I mean, I guess you could make a living, with Ben Shapiro gets 10, 20,000 views per video. I guess you could make a living that way, but not the living.
Benny is crushing money though on AdSense.
Yes. But a lot of these people, I don't want to name them by name because that just promotes them, but a lot of these people that come in just under that level, and all they're doing is supporting those people.
Yeah.
That's for pay.
Yeah.
There are websites they go to and they say, hey, this is what I want you to say some version of this.
Yep.
Put it out, and if you get 50,000 views, I'll give you $50. You get 100,000 views, I'll give you $100. You get 200,000 views, I'll give you $200.
That's it. That's what they're getting paid.
Oh, it's not much, but it adds up. You get 3 or 4 of those here and there, and
on TikTok and stuff,
they do it on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Oh, okay.
YouTube. I mean, it's just and they start stacking the stuff together, which is why when you look at so many of them, a lot of times they'll just copy the main copy that they're being told to advertise, and they'll post it in there, and then you'll see somebody else copy it, and you'll go, that's what's happening.
Those 2 guys that Candace called out on X the other day, and they had barely changed. I can't remember which 2 guys it was.
It was 2 words different. Yeah.
That was hilarious. I was showing that to my daughter. My youngest daughter, for 100% sure, is going to do this, and she's going to be. And so I kind of just like feed her little things to kind of like just put this in your brain, in your little 8-year-old brain, and remember. But it's like this, like the stuff that Danks is talking about with the Salem media and the list of people that are on there. If the second that I believe that if you're going to be in this kind of generalized space that we all operate in, the second that you take that money, I don't believe you can ever be where even where you and I are, and certainly never where like Tucker and Candace and them are, because like people will sniff it out, man. They'll sniff it out.
Well, it doesn't look real. It's not organic. But B, the people who are paying you are never going to let you get bigger than them. Mm-hmm. They'll put the brakes on you. They have that over you forever, that you were their underling.
Yeah.
And I think that's what frustrates Ben Shapiro so much about Candace is he believes he's the reason she's as big as she is. And now he's frustrated that she's bigger than he is.
She'd have got there anyway.
I talk about this all the time. People are niche famous and then they're famous.
Yeah.
Like Ian Carroll's niche famous. If he walks into certain rooms and certain organizations, he'll be mobbed. He walks into Target in, Lexington, Kentucky. Maybe a couple of people will recognize him. Maybe.
Yeah.
Candace Owens walks into a Target in Lexington, Kentucky.
She's the Rock.
She knows every single person knows who she is.
Yeah.
Like my mom knows her name.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my test for general fame. Does my mom know your name?
Yeah.
Because she watches Fox News. She watches a little mainstream media. She's not out here plowing through Jesse on Fire archives.
No, that just presents a whole different set of concerns too. And just in terms of like, I don't like, I mean, that would stress me out a lot more. Like, yeah. Cause for me, when I first started, I was very, very specific niche famous. If I go to a UFC event, lots of people know who I am. Yeah. Anywhere else, no one knows who I am, Right. And now it's like, I can recognize every once in a while, I'll be like at the St. Louis Zoo and it's like, okay. And usually the people that I can tell recognize me are people who look like me. It's like some guy who like looks like he works out and has a tattoo. And then I can see he's like, I've seen him on, but like, it's again, very like not a lot of people at all. And it's like that, and to your point, it's a perfect kind of measuring stick for how far behind those people you actually are. It's like you might seem like, you go on one thing, you're like, oh, your view's kind of close over here. You're like, you're not close to where
not even close at all. Like if Brandon Tatum or Graham Allen walk through the Lexington, Kentucky Target, no one's going to recognize.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe one person just off chance just happens to be there at the same time. But if Alex Jones or Candace or Tucker walk in, I mean, my goodness, they're going to have trouble getting in and out without being bothered.
Yeah.
And that's just reality.
Yeah. And the way that people handle that too, I think is a great demonstration of their character too. Cause like if someone is a fan of a person and they approach them and say, hey, can I have a photograph? It's like, it's just this like tiny little moment in both of their lives, but it'll be such a big deal for the person who approaches if they're just really kind to them, and like they're overly nice, give them the time, smile, remember their name when they introduce themselves. It's like, that's a big one too. Like my cousin married the daughter of my cousin's married to the daughter of someone extremely famous, like very, very, very famous. We went to their wedding this last summer and I met him once. And every time I saw him for the rest of the weekend, he immediately just like right out with my name. I was like, man, that is, this guy met 150 people and he just immediately, and he remembered all of them. I don't know that. I think that skill is so impressive when people can do that.
Have you heard the story of George Bush when he shows up at Yale, the junior, the younger one? He shows up at Yale and they're going through the, fraternity rush or whatever. He gets assigned to his fraternity. He's in a deal, a hazing ritual or whatever, where they go and all the upperclassmen, 25, 30, 40 people, they'll introduce themselves by name, where they're from. Hey, I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas. Oh, I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. My name's Jim Smith. I'm Bill Stevenson, whatever. They go down the line and then they pick a freshman and they point at somebody like, what's that guy's name? Where's he from?
It's a trap. It's a hazing trap.
He knew every one of them. He knew where they were from. Only heard it once. And that's one of his fraternity brothers was telling that story. And he's like, I knew he was special. Like I didn't know. I mean, he may be a good guy, bad guy. That's a political decision, but he's special because
he's smart too.
Yeah. He's able, and not only that, it's people smart. It's not just smart.
Exactly.
Smart. Where I used to work, we had a scale that we would judge people on. Were they hungry, humble, and people smart? If they're hungry, they're going to work. You're going to get your 40 hours. You might get 50 or 60 hours out of that person. You're going to get your money's worth by hiring them. If they're humble, they're not going to be annoying. They're not going to dominate meetings. They're not going to be all about them. And if they're people smart, they're going to know how to navigate the political environment of an office. But if they only have 2 of those 3 characteristics, they're a nightmare. Because if they're hungry and humble, but they're not people smart, they're like a bull in a china shop, right? They don't really understand what's going on. If they're hungry and people smart, but they're not humble, they're a nightmare because they're probably narcissistic, they're manipulative. So you have to have kind of a balance of all 3. And if you take someone who's just people smart, they might be the laziest SOB on the planet, but they might be super manipulative. And so you've got to have sort of that balance of them. And so I look at smart and people smart as 2 different things.
Yeah.
Like, people smart is someone like I try to be people smart. I don't want to make enemies.
Never.
I know there are people that badmouth me on their streams. And if they call me, picking up the phone, we're chatting, we're having a good time.
Same.
I don't care. Like I'm not out here to make an enemy. And not only that, I might have done something that frustrated them one day. They needed to vent a little bit, whatever. Who cares? Why am I going to have my life be altered forever because of that? And you know, I'm a more friends person. It seems like the people in the mainstream though are not let's make friends with everybody and see how it shakes out. It's more of this is our domain and we hate everyone who disagrees with us on anything.
Yeah. I wonder how much of that is organic. I mean, clearly like with certain people, I think it just seems to be like, that is how they're wired. Like Ben Shapiro for sure is just wired like that. And there are others, but I'm the exact same way. And the methodology that I've always had is success comes in basically any category that you would look on the other side of good relationships. Nothing good ever comes from conflict with other people, except for maybe like a short-term hit and, you know, they've got this online beef, whatever. But in terms of real progress in whatever you're doing, you're always going to have a better shot at that through friendships than you do through enemies always. And it's just it's a cost, you know, it's a plus minus, you know, cost benefit analysis. And it's always better to be friends.
Yeah. I've always thought if you could just, you know, obviously you're going to disagree with people from time to time, but if at all possible, you can keep them friendly. Obviously there comes a time when the relationship sours to a point where you just can't maintain that friendship. But
yeah,
I want to run through some of the comments if you got time.
Yeah, of course.
This just in, dogs are awesome. I'm okay with that. My dog is awesome. I don't really love other people's dogs. Do you like when other people's dogs come up? I'm nervous around dogs I don't know.
I was always a dog person, and then my wife and kids, we couldn't get dogs now because we travel too much. And so they were like, let's just get cats. I'm like, ugh, cats. And now, oh my God, I love my cats, dude.
Yeah, I would get a cat. My kids are allergic.
It's just a very different experience because like a dog, you treat it nice. Like dogs are their base setting is they are loyal. They love the human, whatever, which is why they're so awesome. Cats, their base setting is like, what's your story? You know, they're like, but you can really like psychologically connect with a cat. And then once they trust you, it's just so flattering because they're like, they don't trust people, but they trust you, you know, and they're like, I don't know. I love my cats, man.
I had a cat. I really liked my cat. My kids were fine with the cat. They just sneezed and
if they're allergic, that's a deal breaker.
I'm not gonna make my kids be miserable their whole life. We do have a dog, and we just got her about 3 years ago.
What kind of pup?
She's just a Tennessee mutt dog.
Yeah.
She looks like a Carolina dog. Like if you look up here, let me show you. If you look up brown Feist dog, she looks just like a brown Feist dog. Let me pull this screen up. But she's bigger than a Feist. She's probably more like a Carolina dog. She looks just like that, to be honest with you. But she's bigger than that. She's like 40 pounds. This dog looks like it's like 20 or 30 pounds.
Oh, that's a cute dog, man.
Yeah. I had her on the screen one day. Let me look up Carolina dog. Yeah, she kind of
Kimmy's asking about Jack Russells. Jack Russells are wild dogs, man.
Yeah, my in-laws had a couple, and they ran the house. Like, they ran the whole estate.
Dude, they have so much energy, man.
Yeah. My dog's pretty chill. She's pretty calm. Barks at everything.
Just Jessica, high five. That is exactly what we were going for. That was basically our preparation, was like, let's just wherever it goes, man.
Thoughts on the am I anti-Semitic video CK recorded at TPUSA SAS? It's more important than the Smith Hammer debate, but often overlooked. I don't know that I've even watched it.
If it was him when he was challenging the narrative that he was anti-Semitic for asking common sense questions about what we are getting for our investment in that country, then yes, I've seen it, and I think it's one of the most important things that we need to evaluate, especially given what's going on now. It's like, I have no idea what's going to happen in the next presidential election, because whoever is running is going to have to navigate that question. Like, how much money they give you? Because if it's a lot, you're done, you know?
Oh, I've already said I'm not voting for anybody who doesn't say I'm primarily America only. And I'll occasionally figure out if Canada's our neighbor, we should probably be pretty friendly with them. Mexico's our neighbor, we shouldn't be at war with them. Much beyond those two countries, I don't much care what you say,
I don't care what they're doing over there either. It's like, if there's something that we rely on and a trade route is being disrupted in terms of our getting something critical, then sure. But I don't want to fight it out, but Baron, been following you since Google Trends. You're the first member sub for me. Thank you for showing we Bamians are not ignorant and uneducated. Keep on keeping on. I don't think you're uneducated at all. Who thinks Alabama's uneducated, man?
Yeah, I lived there for 20 out of 25 years in the state of Alabama, and salt of the earth people.
Great football team.
A lot of really sharp people there. Yeah. I can't believe I get to watch you both at the same time. You have a fan, Jesse.
Well, I am having a great time. I'm glad that you get to today.
I can't believe I have a grandma of 9. I can't see her picture very well, so I'm assuming you look great for being a grandma of 9.
Definitely looks great for a grandma of 9.
Johnny 2 times. That's Veronica 1 time. She checks in. And Jesse on fire. Thanks for repping Texas. Texas is the best.
Hey.
Tell Big Country hi. He's so thick.
God, man. He gets so much. Girls love him, man.
Veronica, calm down.
Yeah. The girls love that guy.
Calm down.
He's the real life Rip from Yellowstone.
I've never seen Yellowstone.
That's a great show.
I never watch. I'm just so busy. I don't.
We said so. For the people who do watch it, the actor who plays Rip was at a UFC event. Gabrielle and I were sitting like right cage side because we were there with not like that. We didn't get there. We were just with people who were there, and he was sitting like maybe a row over. So, oh my God, that's Rip. And then her and Raheem Moser, the running back, like our 2 wives, they went to the bathroom and they kind of like overheard him talking, and they came back. They're all, that's not Rip. That's not Rip.
Hey, we were at a concert. I was at a Blues Traveler concert at the Ryman with my wife. I love Blues Traveler. Don't make fun of them. And we're getting ready for the show to start. And everybody's kind of milling in and milling out. It's not a big venue, 3,000 or 4,000 people. And my wife looks over, and maybe 3 sections over. I mean, he's this big to my eyes. And she's like, that looks like Sean Murphy, catcher for the Braves. And that's what we watch. We watch the Braves pretty much only. Braves in Formula One, and I do podcasting. Mm-hmm. And so she's like, it looks like Sean Murphy. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't see it. But you always see him with a mask on or a hat on. And so I was like, I'm not really seeing it. So I was like, let me get up and walk over there and I'll see. So I got up and I walked over and I walked up the steps and I saw his thighs were like this big around. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, that's a guy who squats all day long for a living. Like he's seated in the squat position for 3 hours a day. I'll give you that. That's Sean Murphy. So I walked up and I was like, are you Sean Murphy by chance? And he was real shy, and his wife was like, yes, he's Sean Murphy. That's Sean Murphy.
Yeah.
I can imagine, even though he's an all-star and makes probably $20 million a year, probably doesn't get recognized a lot in public in other cities. And so he was very kind, stood up. My wife and I came up. I'm a big fan of, if you run into a famous person and you want a picture, have the camera ready to go, get it out, take the picture, get out of their way.
Yeah.
And it was a great moment. It was a great moment. Best show ever. Agreed. Knowing that patsies are immediately eliminated after the dead, does anyone think CK would condemn a person for elimination so he wouldn't have to go to prison? But that alone, I don't believe CK lives. Christ is king indeed. I know you're a big fan of the Charlie Kirk is still alive theory.
I agree with him. I don't think I there's no world that I believe Charlie would condemn an innocent person at all.
I don't either.
No,
I don't either. Shout out to those of us showing up day in, day out and being part of this community. Yeah, shout out to the jury out here. That is the grand jury. So we have the jury.
What's PLN?
Where does it say PLN?
Like the currency. I'm just wondering where they're from.
Oh, let me look it up. Sounds Filipino. PLN currency. Polish zloty.
Oh, nice.
Oh, we're huge in Poland, Jesse. We're huge in Poland.
Yeah, I get some Poland too, man. The fighters from Poland are tough ass guys, man.
Those are big people in Poland.
Dude, they're tough, man.
That's a big stock of human beings.
Yeah.
You meet someone from Poland, they're like Danish people. They're just big people.
And they're also the kind of people that will jump into a lake that is frozen on top and then just get out and just like air dry. You're like, man.
Well, they just got heat like 60 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole country was flattened in the 40s, if you don't remember.
Yeah, I do.
Two of my favorites. Jesse makes it fun to hit the like button. Baron brings the courtroom prestige. Love you too. Crisis King.
Thank you.
Crisis King. Thank you.
Freedom from Corrupt. I like that name too.
Yeah, and it's a dog. It's amazing they're able to type. Baron, are you planning to cover the trial as it unfolds in real time? Could use your expertise. Crisis King indeed. In real time, meaning live streaming? No, I'm not going to do that. Will I summarize at the end of the day? Probably. I mean, I was watching a little bit of the hearing today. It was sort of a perfunctory hearing. I think the judge already knows what he's going to do, but
the district attorney, the only comment I had is I was like, he was apparently making pretty good arguments, but he seemed like kind of a little bit unprepared where he had to like think a lot, where I was like, I don't know. It just seemed kind of, I don't know. I haven't watched that many, motion
I don't think
of his trials.
I didn't find it that unusual. You got to keep in mind though, a district attorney's caseload is massive.
Yeah.
So, they probably don't spend, days and weeks and months getting ready for a sort of a routine pretrial hearing. I think the judge is just going to, if the defense says they need a little bit more time, he's going to give them a little bit more time. I don't think
What about the cameras though? Do you think that they're going to leave the cameras in?
My guess is no.
I think so too. I think they're going to pull them.
I think my guess is no. I think we've seen our last bit of trial today, our last bit of this hearing today. Only because the defense is asking for them not to have it. Hang on. This is Lionel calling. Let me tell him. I got the link. I'm live streaming now, period. I'll call you later, period. I don't know why people make fun of me for talking into my phone.
No, my wife, she never types anything ever. She's always doing that. And I forget that I have that feature and spin. I'm like, doodle, and my wife would be like, why do you take so much time typing that out?
Yeah, same thing. My wife types her text and I'm like, just talking to it. It'll, sometimes you got to go back and edit a little bit, but a lot of times send it and then just edit on the next one.
Yeah.
If you need to. Hi, Baron and Jesse. Love that you're together during my lunch break. I'm a ginger also. So hello, fam. We're practically related.
Yeah.
Practically related. What color are your eyes? Are they green or blue?
Blue.
I was in an office one time. It was my law partner, me, and a girl that worked for us. And we were the only three people there at the time. And he looked around, he said, do you know how rare it is that three people with green eyes would be in the room at the same time and the only three people in the room? And then he gets out a calculator and starts doing the math. And it was astronomical.
Yeah.
Guys are more rare than I thought. Yeah. How does one become a tier 1 member? You are a tier 1 member. I only have one tier. So if you're here, you're a member. That's the only tier we have. My wife talked about having like a homeschool tier where people just wanted to hear her talk homeschooling every now and then. But Baron, Dan Greider on YouTube said that allegedly Jim Croce entourage had to leave town by sundown or PD would search their plane for drugs. They didn't play encore. Pilot ran to the airport. Member group had taken a liking to PD chief's daughter. Colin, that's an interesting bit of history I didn't know. Jim Croce, Jesse, if you don't know, is not that you have to listen to the story, but he's my favorite singer-songwriter of all time. We mentioned that on the show the other day. And now I'm getting inundated with Jim Croce stories. So I had no idea. Baron and Jesse love both your shows. Watching you tied two side by side, both look like you have ants in your pants.
Just at all times.
Dude, I adjust so much in this chair.
I have to. My legs get like I have. Do you get restless legs? Like, do you have that at night ever?
I don't get restless legs, but what I've gotten since I started doing this more, because now, I used to work on a 20-10. You know what a Tabata is, where you do something for 20 seconds and you take off 10 seconds, and it's just a workout scheme. But I used to do like work 20-10. I do 20 minutes of work, then I get up for 10 minutes and mill around the house. Then I come back in, do 20 minutes. And I was very disciplined about it because it keeps you from burning out. You can go all day. You basically never stop. And I can't do that when I'm live streaming. I'll be hitting the seat for 4 hours. And then I go lay down in bed and my feet burn. And I think it's from sitting down too long in a row without getting up. And I try to adjust a little bit in my seat and move around. But I think the people at home don't understand the pain we go through.
Oh yeah. And I can't do that. Like I'm like, oh, what, like, dude, do you have a job? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it later. Then I'll go into my studio and I will literally lock in and work for like 7 straight hours.
Yeah. I mean, I basically sit down between 7 and 9 in the morning and get up at 11 o'clock at night. I mean, I'm here all day. So my feet hurt. Ginger Strawberry members live love it. Apparently the red hair is a hit. Perfect combo for my Gen X OCD. High IQ meets high energy, and I'm here for it. Thank you both for your content. Christ is king indeed.
Yes, ma'am.
Bear and I had the same tibia fibula break. It was HE double hockey sticks. Love your show. Yeah, so my surgeon basically, right before I go into surgery, they have you all doped up and you're signing all your informed consent things. And he's like, yeah, there's like probably a 5% chance you will get in there and you'll end up losing your foot. And I'm like, wait, what? Say that again?
He said 5%?
I'm like, that's 1 in 20, doc.
Yeah, I don't like those odds.
Yeah, he's like, well, the option is you could just be mangled your whole life. This is your best shot. And I was like, all right. And then he told me you'll probably never run well again. You may never squat well again. You may never be able to jump. And I'm basically back to where I was before. So he did a good job.
They did, and they put plates. They like plated it back together.
Yeah. So I have it was called chain link surgery, I think is what it's called, chain something surgery. So on the fibula, he had to rebuild it because it was totally shattered.
Yeah.
So he went in there and he picked all the little bone pieces out of the muscle and the soft tissue, and then he put like some sort of resin or glue or something that held the bone in place long enough that he could
mesh.
Well, he drilled it looks like a bike chain into the side of it. And there's, I think, 6 screws on that. And then on the tibia, this is really just gross. He opened up the inside of my leg, set the tibia, and then just drilled 2 screws up into the bottom of it. And I can feel the heads of the screws on the inside of my ankle. Like I can go through there and feel, and for a while I could feel almost the Phillips head on it. But now that's grown over, but I can still feel where those 2 screw heads are. And then he drilled through the tibia and fibula and put a real thin piece of wire to hold it in place and like anchored it in with looks like 2 pennies. And that gives me like lateral mobility. Whereas the old days, they would just drill 2 screws in there and you lost all that lateral mobility.
Yeah.
So this is a surgeon that like New York Giants running back went to when he broke his leg very similarly, because he's kind of one of the people that does this surgery in the country.
It's wild, man. I interviewed, a million years ago, I interviewed for a job at Stryker. So it would have been, like I would have been a medical device surgical rep. And so on my ride along, I was in there all day with an orthopedic surgeon who was doing knees and hips. And so I actually like watched them do, 4 knee reconstructions, 4 hip reconstructions. And that job, people think of it as this like medical thing. And I think it's like carpentry. Like that's what they're actually doing. It's carpentry. Yeah. Like the knee, they literally opened it up. The first one, they sawed, literally saw. Like there is nothing connecting the top bone to the bottom bone at all. And I was watching, and then they just, they take the bottom of the bone and they kind of chisel it to make it the right shape. Then zip, zip, zip. Zip, 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 and then they put the little, prosthetic hinge. Yeah,
that's what he did.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah.
And I like when I asked them, I'm like, when is that? I'm like, when is that guy going to be able to walk on that? I thought he was going to say 2 years. I just watched him saw his leg off. You know what I mean? Like, and he's like, oh, he'll be able to walk on that tomorrow night. I was like, what? Tomorrow night?
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
They, I was not walking. I was basically on my back without moving for a couple of weeks. The first time I got out of bed really was to go back to the hospital for the 2-week x-ray. And then they pulled the cast off. And of course the cast is fused to my leg because of all the blood in there. And so they have to like do something to get it off my leg, and then put it up into the x-rays and all that. And see if I can find a picture of that. My leg was so swollen and nasty. Look, yeah, here it is. So that's where they went in on the inside of it right there.
Yeah.
And then
brutal, man.
Yeah, and that's where they went in on the outside of it. It's that was my leg.
That hurts.
See where the cast was all fused to the bottom of my foot where the blood.
I can't believe you didn't take any pain meds after that, dude. That's wild.
I did for 7 days. 7 days. But after 7 days, I thought, they give you 3 a day or 4 days, something like that for a week. And then, I didn't want any more. Like you can't have a bowel movement when you're taking those things. I have no idea how people get addicted to those. But I just, like I said, you see the movie, you hear the stories, you hear the horror stories.
Yeah.
People get addicted to them, and then all of a sudden they're doing drugs for years. And I
noticed too that they don't actually address the pain as well as just ibuprofen does. Like just for like the actual pain. Like I always felt like pain meds just made you in a good mood more than they take pain away from. And like, so in that situation, you just want the pain to go away.
Yeah.
At least for me, like when I just had this sinus surgery, God, it hurt. And I was just like, the ibuprofen is what was.
I didn't even take ibuprofen or anything. After a week, I was like, I don't want to take anything. Like I don't want to take anything. Great having Jesse on the High IQ Member Show. Love your work, both of you, from different opinions on the CK case. Will be good to see you on Jesse's pod. All the best from Kent, England.
And you can come on literally any time you want.
Christ is king indeed. Well, thank you. I might take you up on that. Two of my favorite streamers. Hoping to see you two fellows chopping it up. We don't drop G's. We're not Tyler Robinson. We don't drop G's here. It's chopping
it up.
Shawnee's back. Two good-looking, smart, talented guys for the price of one. Great show, Shawnee. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So, and wait, did Tyler drop the G's in his text or something?
Yeah, and at one point he was like, "I'm gonna be home. I'm gonna be late, my B." So he writes this prose that's like, Robert Frost, Emily Dickinson, classical English, capitalization, periods, all this, and then 10 minutes later he's like, "I'm gonna be late, my B."
Yeah,
hey. Yeah.
I quoted you on that one post that you did. That was just, and I can't remember but I was like, look at Barron's post. This is brilliant right here, where you were like, so next time I'm going to commit capital murder, I'll make sure to whatever. And I read it off. I was like, this captures it all of how ludicrous this is. It's so stupid, especially the dumbest line of that entire thing for me is, remember when I was engraving bullets? Like that is like so absurd. It's so absurd. Like, hey guys, remember when I was engraving bullets? The key piece of evidence that they're going to present. Yeah. So dumb.
Well, and not only that, when he says is good. Hey, Shawnee, first, thank you. Very generous contribution. Thank you for that. When he's writing at one point to the Discord chat, allegedly after he's Miranda's. But he's writing to the Discord chat. He's like, "It's been great, guys. We've had a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. Enjoy your lives. I'm off to the death penalty now."
Yeah. Every time that I do like an impression of it, I just keep going, "I did it. I killed Charlie Kirk." It's just so stupid, man.
He never said that.
Yeah, it's true.
He never said that. He's like, it was me. But he never said, "I am the one who pulled the trigger that killed him."
Yeah.
Curious Yoel. I thought Baron and Jesse's combo of ADHD energy would open up a wormhole to another universe, but this is an impressingly entertaining interview. Now I have a clip of Baron saying, "I've had fentanyl once."
Clip it, man. Clip it.
Yeah, that's a new GIF.
Yeah.
My son is 26 and alcoholic, now trying to get help. It's hard believing his mom. Send him prayers, please. CK. She's a Calvin Klein fan. I'm assuming you meant to put an I in there. Christ,
26 is a tough age to try to deal with that because they're still young enough that they can kind of lie to themselves about, it's not usually for people. It's not till they start losing things and like things that matter and they're a little bit older. But I mean, I know people who kicked at 26 and stopped. It's not impossible. It's just like, I understand. It's tough.
Not impossible. The problem is, we have this misnomer that we carry around with us that the brain's not fully developed till 25.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the brain ever stops developing.
I think that's
why we have this trope of the wise old man who just kind of instinctively knows how the world works and how the universe works and how everything works. I think what happened was they cut the study off at 25, and they're like, well, the brain, they're no longer kids, so let's just stop looking. And so he's still operating on an immature brain, even at 26. By 35, 40, hopefully, people are grown up enough. But 26 is a tough age, because at 20, and also at 26, every social interaction is around booze. Everything.
Yep. That's true. That's very true. It's also like the thing that I always talk about too is where the reason why people who become celebrities when they're young are always messed up when they're older is because the way that you actually develop and become a better person almost always comes through negative social feedback. And, you do a thing, people react poorly to it. And then you feel so mortified that you're like, oh my God, I should never do that again. And the celebrities, no matter what they do, they get positive feedback. And so they never develop, and they end up kind of these like warped children in their brain forever.
Well, and they have unlimited resources.
Yep.
I mean, one of the holdbacks is drinking's expensive. Drugs are expensive. Mm-hmm. And so it causes you to at least think about it. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you have basically, and if you're making $1 million a year or more, drugs are expensive, but they're not going to bankrupt you. Yep. You can keep buying them. My nephew died on his birthday by fentanyl overdose. Oof. He had a baby on the way. Also, it devastated our family. I can imagine it did.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm very sorry that happened. I've had cancer 2 times now. Was an RN for 25 years in labor and delivery. Therapy has been worse than cancer. Lost ability to work in bed most days, all from therapy. But been with Barron since Google Trends, and it's literally in my high. Well, first, I'm sorry you've had cancer. The therapy sounds horrific. Have you heard anything about the success, or is this just hype with the ivermectin and fenbenzidole and all that stuff? Have you heard anything about that? Have you followed that at all?
My wife pays close attention to that stuff for sure. I literally, anything health related, I just defer to her because she's an acupuncturist. So she's that kind of stuff. Anything that's a little bit off the normal Western medicine menu, she's on it.
Yeah, that's fascinating to me. We already read this one. Zach, You still have red hair. You can be in denial all day long, but your son died of fentanyl poisoning. Do you think this is okay? So this is a recurring theme. Obviously, we've had a lot of people in here that are talking about this. First, I'm very sorry that happened to your son.
Same.
Do you think this is by design? Do you think somebody is trying to kill young Americans by importing this stuff?
It's really hard to say, because when you think about, where's it all coming from? And they used to say it's all coming from China. It's kind of not true anymore. It's like some of it comes from China, some of it comes from Mexico. But it's when there's such a massive financial incentive behind something at the cost of human life, I usually just default to, okay, but they're making so much money. But when it comes to the war, the war that we know we've been in with China, it makes perfect sense that they would be facilitating large imports of drugs that are going to kind of undermine and kind of deteriorate the society. I mean, that makes perfect sense to me.
Well, it's going right after the military age population.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going right after the teenagers and people in their early 20s.
The ones that look like candy. They make it look like candy.
Yeah. Yeah. Read that one. Hey guys, 2 things from a small town pharmacist. One, it's buccal. No. It's buccal. Buccal. We figured this out the other day. They did the buccal swabs. But everyone's trying to tell me it's buccal, but I refuse to accept that reality. It looks like buccal. It's Buccal. That's buccal in my book. In my book. Great job on that, King B. Most street drugs in small towns come from family members' cabinet. Lock and count. Christ is king indeed. Well, they come from doctors who push drugs instead of trying to heal people. I had the same experience with Dilaudid when my gallbladder was about to rupture. Never done drugs, but the immediate relief from pain. If I had addictive tendencies and I was trying to chase that feeling, owie. Yeah, they gave me Dilaudid after the fentanyl. Not even close. Not even close.
I got IV fentanyl one time, and I actually ended up like throwing up into this the kind of thing that you would put dishes in the kitchen after like a lot of people are eating, and you throw it like in one of those. I just vomited into it immediately.
Yeah, it's something. They gave me the Dilaudid afterwards. That wasn't even close. Then they switched me to morphine after the surgery before I went home. And I was like, what is this, cotton candy? You know, give me something that's going to touch this pain. This is
and that's the moment where you're like, you know what? Maybe no more IV drugs.
I know. That's when I was like, I don't need to have any drugs. Like, I'm done. You said you lived in Montgomery. I did. I grew up down the road in Tallahassee. Graduated from Auburn, War Eagle. Got an Auburn pennant right back here, hanging up. I'm converting to Catholicism. Christ is King indeed. I'm curious if you have a favorite saint. If so, who? Love the community of truth seekers. God bless. My confirmation saint was St. Thomas More, and I would probably count him right there. If anything, what's going on in England is confirmation they should have listened to St. Thomas More. But yeah, I like St. Thomas More. Stood up to power and quite literally died for it. So big fan. Quit drinking 7/4/23. Great show. Sean, congratulations. I bet you feel better today than you did 7/3 of 23 or 7/5 of 23 even. Did y'all know that ADHD meds were initially for Nazi soldiers to keep them awake until the psychosis got too bad? And our current ADHD meds are even stronger. Is that true?
Yeah. They used to. Oh yeah, those the Nazi soldiers used to stay. Like they would take them and stay up and just. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give my kids Adderall or Ritalin or any of that stuff if I would never give it to them. And I've always said, I'm like, parents who get recommended that their kids get on Adderall should at the very least have to take it themselves once, just so they at least understand, you know, it's like, does this seem like this is going to be good for your 8-year-old's developing brain? Probably not, dude. Like
an equivalent dose for body weight. So if your kid weighs 50 pounds and you weigh 200, you should have to take 4 times as much.
Yes.
But not only that, like we homeschool, so our kids have my ADHD tendencies. They're all over the place. They're rambunctious. They bounce around. I have 5 boys. I mean, that's to me, those are boys. They just, you know, go outside, run out some energy, come back in, do your history.
Yeah.
You know, we got math at 2. Make sure you're back in by 2. And that's, yeah, I'm not a fan of the ADHD meds. I just sort of self-medicate with I shouldn't even have nicotine, but I do.
Yeah, me too. I do that too. But I got prescribed that stuff when I was like 15.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I mean, I've always had a script if I wanted it. But like for my kids, like one thing I have it, and then it's another thing. I was like, I would never give that to my kids ever.
Yeah, I don't even give my kids Tylenol. If they get a fever, they just sweat it out. Like I'm a very non-interventionist person when it comes to medication. HK walked or walked so Erica could run. I don't know what that means. Who's HK?
HK.
I don't know what that means.
Maybe she meant CK. Is H near the C? No.
I don't know. No, it's nowhere close. My dad still believes it was real, even after showing him all the evidence. Shaking my head, all you can do is chuckle. The moon landing. Yeah, I know. Old people, man, they just will not give up to long-held beliefs. But Baron and Jesse together in one stream. If only Candace would call in, my life would be complete. Yeah, the problem is I think she's streaming her book club, so she can't. She said after I was on her show, she was like, "Well, call me and have me on your show." And I was like, "You can't fit in my studio. Like we would be like, this is a small room I'm in. We would be so." Actually, her studio is very small. It looks massive on the screen.
Every good studio looks huge, and then when you look at it, you're like, "Whoa, that's." I
walked in and turned the corner, and I was like, "What?" Like I can touch this wall back here, right?
Yeah,
it's small. That bookcase behind her is like touching her. It looks so far away on screen, but it is right there.
This is actually kind of pretty big, like because I had a guy like build it out.
Yeah,
but this room was like big, and
you don't fight sound in a big room.
Probably, but I have all kinds of like my own stuff that I've just kind of got in here, and yeah,
I've got not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 10 sound panels up. They're 2-inch foam.
Yeah, like this, like the
yeah. I wish I could show you one, but
I know. I'm pretty sure I know it. Like they're like either rectangle or square.
Yeah, they're 4 feet by 2 feet, and they're just a charcoal gray.
Yeah,
and they got like a fabric over them. And when I put them in here, man, when you walk in from the living room into here, like, woo, it gets quiet. It sounds dense in here. I mean, every bit of sound is eaten up. Dankster.
What's up, Danks?
Love you both. Great to see you together on my members only live as well. Wanted to drop love. Great to see you. I always have to try to figure out what people are saying when they start abbreviating stuff. I like Danks. He's all right.
He's good people, dude.
Hi, Barry and Jesse. If your theory of Charlie is alive, Candace would have to be in the know. Messages from Charlie.
I've definitely considered that many, many times.
Candace being as David would have been recent. We have seen messages, but no date of messages. Thoughts. Jesus Christ is King indeed. Yeah, I cannot get behind that Charlie Kirk is alive thing. I've tried.
You know what was great last night was because last night, like with, because Blake was supposed to come on Tuesday and then he, no showed, then did that show, whatever. So then last night I was reacting to the show that he did the night before with a couple other guys who he's actually on. He was on Costello's, Costello was on also, but the guys who were on were the people who have been studying the tape from the day of and all, like everything TPUSA guys did. Mm-hmm. And what I realized is I'm like, oh, these guys are 98% there. They've identified all the same stuff as me, except their conclusion is that this was this just big coordinated thing between all of these people to whack Charlie out versus it being a coordinated thing to fake it. And so that was the first time where I've been like live streaming where I'm like, okay, now I can actually make a coherent argument because it makes them make their argument first. And then I get to question what's more likely. Like if this is, you're saying this, then so this is what you think happened. Because every other time it's like, it's impossible to argue it verbally. It's just, it's too complicated. And so it's like, have to like be able to show people things. But when they're saying their conclusions, I get to challenge their conclusions and it just made it way easier. But,
I watched a little bit of that, or I listened, I guess, to a little bit of that. I pray for everyone dealing with opioid addiction as well as the ones who care about them. I spent several years with tombstones in my eyes, and I'm blessed to have freed myself 4.5 years ago. Jim, I had no idea. Christ is King indeed, good sir. I just saw someone post that Victor Glover is an actor and was on season 1, episode 1 of Fallout. Who's Victor Glover?
Yeah, who's Victor Glover? The show Fallout's great though. Victor. Speaking of great shows, for anybody watching this that's looking for their next show, the show Beef on Netflix, which a lot of people know about, season 1 is incredible. They just dropped season 2, and I'm 3 episodes in. It is fire. Beef is so good. Like that show is so good. It's a completely new story with new characters. And I was skeptical because season 1 was so good. I'm like, there's no way they're going to be able to make this as good. And it's just as good.
What show is it?
It's called Beef on Netflix. Phenomenal show. It's got Ali Wong is in season 1. And it's just exceptional. Absolutely amazing show.
So this is a post-misidentify actor Jamal Thomas as Artemis 2 astronaut Victor Glover.
Hang on. There's someone knocking at my door, and I just realized I'm the only one here. I'm going to go check this real quick.
Yeah, take your time. That's interesting. No, I think that's fake news is what they would say. Fake news. Jesse, I'll have to come back to that one because he's not here. Baron, top 3 reasons you don't agree with Jesse's CK theory. Also, Mrs. Coleman should be nicknamed the Baroness. I like that. Top 3 reasons. I just don't buy it. I don't know. He's dead. People saw his dead body that I trust, and I don't know. I just don't think he's dead. I mean, I don't think he's alive. Excuse me. I'm behind on the show, but I was working in the ER. My husband told me my son died. Oh, recently. Ativan saved my life. Not recently. Not today. I thought you meant today. Ativan saved my life that night. My gun was in the car in the parking lot. I didn't feel high. I felt like I could at least breathe. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry to hear that. What a horrific story. Thank you for sharing that. But oh my goodness gracious. Theory, the original moon landing was indeed fake. The goal was to beat the USSR by any means. 10 years later, they went for real. Less pressure. I thought Artemis was real till I heard no sonic boom. I don't think they ever went. I don't think it's technologically possible to go.
I have no idea what these are, but I just signed for them. So
I don't sign for stuff.
I mean,
there are strict instructions in my house. We don't sign for anything. No one's ever sent me money in the mail that I had to sign to get. You notice that? Only bad stuff.
Ooh, something that is golf related. Oh, this can't be something I had to sign for. It looks like this can't be. It must have been the other box. It's a pair of golf pants.
Why did you have to sign for golf page?
I didn't. It must have been this one because there was two. I thought, I had to sign. I don't know what this is either.
Oh, now if it's a package, I'll sign for my own package.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Wait, what did you think I was talking about?
I don't know. Like people serve process, but you have to sign for it.
Oh yeah, no way. I wouldn't sign it. Yeah, no.
Never. You send the sheriff to the door if you want to serve process. I'm not signing your envelope for any reason imaginable. Love you too, Jesse, the guy version of me, and Baron, my intellectual crush. Ooh. God bless and protect you for your work. Just created a new channel. Join the movement. Good, Garrison Project. Good. That's what we need. People out there banging content out day in and day out. The crew, BC, Jesse, CO, Coach, Lionel, et al. I find myself often wondering, what if this group of voices didn't do this? It's truly scary to imagine how isolating it would be for us, the audience, with deepest gratitude.
Thank you.
Kate, I think about that a lot too, because I was talking to Sam Parker today, and can you imagine their surprise when 7+ months later people are still talking about this? Like, that was not the plan, I can assure you. No matter if it was he's alive or dead, the plan was not for people to still be looking into this 7 months later. Oh, we had one for you here that I can't answer because I don't know who these people are.
Mike Mallet or Gilbert. Man, if it's in Canada, then Mike Malott. If it's not, Gilbert Burns.
That you got your answer. Spent a couple years in Oklahoma history that was basically disproved by Killers of Flower Moon. History is written by the victor. I agree with that.
I haven't watched that movie yet, which is embarrassing. I just feel like it's going to make me feel very uncomfortable and sad. But I know,
Don't be weak.
I know, but I hate shit about us fucking over Native American.
Come on.
Oh, sorry.
My kids watch.
Sorry. I hate that though.
Yeah. Baron, I'll be sending you an entire Reno Gazette journal on the day JFK was assassinated.
That's cool.
I'll be happy to have it. That sounds amazing. Thank you. I'll put it up next to my Indianapolis Star. My dad was waiting offshore Japan and Marine, 2nd Marine Division to invade. He went into Nagasaki as occupation forces after the bomb was dropped. I was only under the impression that after you nuked a place, you couldn't go in there.
They were not that early on. They didn't fully understand radiation yet, because that was like they'd only detonated the one in the desert, and then the Hiroshima one, and then the Nagasaki. That all happened pretty fast. I don't think that they understood that radiation stuck to everything, and it was super dangerous.
Have you ever watched any of the documentaries about people going into the forbidden zone where Chernobyl exploded?
I have watched a lot of stuff about,
it's really
so cool. Crazy that place is still toxic.
Well, not only that, but you can stay for a little while. You just couldn't live there. But there are actually a few people that live there, but nature has just taken over. Like the ancient wolves population is just ravaging the place. You've got this balance again where there's no humans there, and it's like a nice temperate climate where normally there'd be humans everywhere. It's
fascinating that the earth will heal itself. I wonder if humans just disappeared. I wonder what would happen with that big trash thing in the middle of the ocean,
I'd eventually go away.
You think so?
Yeah. I think what happens is pieces of it finally give in and sink, but it's constantly being added to, so it just sort of stays static. It's miles long, isn't it?
Huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Where all the currents sort of circulate. I'm a rabbit hole person. Oh, Cheryl. Your humble host included. 2010, I was researching why Lehman Brothers was allowed to fail, which eventually
personal rivalries is why that was allowed to happen. I don't think that they realized how serious it was going to be if they let Lehman go down. Because Paulson was a rival with the CEO of Lehman, and I think that they didn't realize how bad it was about to be, and they really didn't realize if they let one bank go down, there was going to be a run on the entire system like there was.
Everyone would panic.
Yeah.
Which eventually led me to the Federal Reserve, and thus the black pilling began. Crisis risen, crisis king indeed. Hey, I was working at a bank. I was one of the early jobs I had as a lawyer. I worked in the headquarters of Colonial Bank, and we eventually failed. But it was shocking because everything turned so fast. We would process. So I was responsible for the west coast of Florida from like Fort Myers to Pensacola. And we would process 5 foreclosures a month on average, maybe. And then all of a sudden we were doing 200 or 300.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just escalated so quickly. And all of a sudden the judges are sending out notice saying you can't file a foreclosure right now.
Yep.
Like you're not allowed to. And so you have to go upstairs to the bank and say, hey, they're not letting us take this land. Like we've been stopped by the county. They're not letting us take the land.
The way, and it was so crazy because I was on the loan side of it. And so I understood all of the mechanisms of the loan side and, at the very, very baseline level where, okay, so when we first started this thing, the rates were so low that everybody is going to refinance. So they get to take some cash out. Then because the rates were low, the values went up. So now we're going to, instead of fixed rate, now we've got adjustable rate mortgages. Well, they got to get out of them by a certain time. Then we went to interest only, which is lower. The whole thing is just about pull cash out, keep your payment lower. And then we went to interest only. Then we went to negative amortization loans. And that's when I said, I'm like, this is the end of the road, you guys. Like 12 to 18 months, this is going to end. But what I didn't understand at the time, I didn't understand about collateralized debt obligations, mortgage-backed securities. I didn't understand that they were taking those on the secondary market, selling them, and then synthesizing them into these other derivative products. It's like, that is one of the craziest things that's ever happened on the financial market is what they were doing with those loans. Additionally, it's crazy.
We were foreclosing on, say, a $750,000 lot in St. Joe's, Florida, right? There were a million of them, but we would foreclose on one, take the property in, but then the regulators would say you're too property heavy because the regulators keep close tabs on how much cash a bank has, how much property. They were like, you're too property heavy. You have to get rid of some of your property. Well, you've got it at book value. You've got it at 750 on your books, but you can only sell it for 175 right now. So the moment you do, your balance sheets and you start having to unload property at pennies on the dollar, we would foreclose on I shouldn't say all this probably, but I'm going to. It's been a long time. This is back in 2008. We would foreclose on a $50 million condo project and have to sell it for $16 million. That just evaporates $34 million in book value off in equity or assets off the bank's balance sheet. It's just gone.
Yep.
And, you do that a few times and the regulators keep saying, you got too much property, you got too much property, you got too much property. The only 5 states we did business in were the worst 5 states in a country. Well, 4 of the worst 5 states in the country. We did business in Texas, Florida, Georgia, and Nevada. Those were the states that got hit the hardest. And then we did business in Alabama, which kind of.
And think about and at the time, I remember just being like, man, this is such a nightmare because I was young. And now I hear those stories. And I'm like, God, I would have made a fortune if I would have known what I was doing back then. But
I had a buddy that went in heavy, right at pretty much right at the bottom.
And he must be.
Oh, he was applying for credit cards, getting $35,000 limits.
Buy everything.
Everything he could find.
Buy everything. Yep.
He was like, it can't go. We can't fail. And now he's doing well.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, are you sure this is a good idea? You're going to trash your credit. He's like, no, I can't lose. I'm like, well, that's when you lose. When you say
that's true. Yeah.
But he was right. And it really worked out for him. Thanks for normalizing the conversation of addiction. I'm clean from Fent since 9/23. Congratulations.
Congratulations, my man.
100% sober since 1/11/25. I now have a beautiful wife, 9-month-old baby girl. My son will be born next month. Christ is King. Mike, you sound like you're winning the lottery of life, brother.
Attaboy. And when you get bored, find something else to do. Boredom is what gets at least half the people. They're just bored. They're all, I'll just take one and watch a movie tonight.
It's the quiet.
Don't do it.
It's the quiet. Because you have to learn that quiet is okay. It's just, the vast majority of humanity up until cell phones, were people sitting around staring at stuff. That was it. Like people would just sit on the front porch and just watch the world go by.
Yeah.
And that was humanity. And your brain, that's what your brain's for. Look at Bubba Barron doing his podcast guest star tour. I like bringing in guests. I don't want to do a guest interview podcast. Like I don't want to be an interviewer.
Yeah.
I think once you go down that road, you kind of like Tucker's an interviewer.
Yeah.
But I do like sprinkling in a few.
Tucker's the GOAT because he does both things so well. It's rare that people do both things so super, super well.
Greatest monologuer in the history of mankind.
Yeah.
There's never been one like him.
Did you see the one that he did like 2 nights ago about how the new religion in the United States is Israelism? Did you watch that?
Yes, I did.
That's one of the most brilliant. I mean, it's like brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliantly insightful.
Yeah, he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT. When Rush died, I thought, who would be the intellectual heir on the right? And you look at people, Sean Hannity, surely not. Mark Levin, no way. I was looking at radio hosts. I never thought to look at a guy like Tucker and think if we could just get him out of the 30-minute, 1 hour TV and into a free-flowing thought process where he could say whatever he wanted. Now he would be, and I think he's the intellectual heir on the right, and he's just devastating the Fed slop in mainstream.
Absolutely.
Jesse, I may have something you'd be interested in watching about the Trump hotel guy that drove into it that was brought up on your show yesterday.
That guy, remember the Cybertruck that blew himself up?
That was the first show I ever had that was demonetized.
That guy was talking about anti-gravity and all this stuff. And someone brought it up in my stream last night. And I was about like with these missing scientists. I was like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot about that. Yeah. Hey, Lexi, shoot me an email. If you're still on right now, like do it right now. And I'll make sure that I see it we can talk. It's realjesseonfire@gmail.com.
So the first, I didn't know you could get demonetized at the time. I had almost no audience, very few people. And I played that video of him exploding over and over because you could see his head move right before it.
Yeah.
And I just kept playing it over and over. And then I got my demonetization notice and I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What? I didn't know this was a thing. You know?
Yeah, you're like, I wasn't making money on it anyway. So
you're going to take my 317 I made?
Yeah.
Love you both. Best podcast ever. Definitely high IQ.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Dude, I got about like 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, whenever you got to jump off this
cool.
Fun.
Nurse Kate, what's up, girl?
You know Nurse Kate.
I do know. Nurse Kate.
Not from Benny Johnson's wife, though. Not Benny Johnson's wife.
No, because she was on it and someone emailed me or they're like, I think that's Benny Johnson's wife. And then so I screenshotted it and sent it to her. And she's like, yeah, no, I'm definitely not Benny Johnson's wife.
Well, I'm glad to be in big company with Nurse Kate. When I was a kid, my brothers and I got to meet and shake hands with RFK a few months before he was shot. He asked us why we weren't in school. He said going to school was more important than seeing him.
That's pretty cool.
Cool story. What if NK is a paradise like heaven on earth? Well, that's what they tell everybody. If you ask anyone from there, that's what they say.
Oh, North Korea? Yeah.
I think they'll get killed if they say anything else.
Dude, the rumor that it's a CIA black site is, I'm not going to be able to shake that off now. Like prove it wrong. Prove it wrong.
The more you go, I've fell in this hole. The more you fall in this hole, the more you'll start to think, I think there's something to this.
Yeah.
And that's why they gave him nukes. You know, it was American technology, but that's why they gave him nukes, is so that no one. Is
it American technology? I thought that they got the technology from AQ Khan in Pakistan before they kind of shut down that proliferation. I mean, that's what they said.
Yeah, but how did he get it? I mean,
yeah.
You know,
well, he came and spied and then went back to Pakistan.
Spied.
Yeah, spied.
Come on, Jesse.
Yeah, spied.
Get up. Yeah, he spied. Oh,
yeah, he infiltrated us.
Yeah, we didn't mean for Israel to get it. We didn't mean for Korea to get it. We didn't mean for North Korea to get it.
Oops.
Yeah, we strategic. You know, the idea was, I think, if you don't nuke them up, if you don't let them develop a nuclear weapon, someone eventually will go in and figure out the whole thing. And so put a nuke in their hands. Let them get the nuclear technology. We
go into these countries and drag guys out by their toenails sometimes. And it's like, but the guy who infiltrated our nuclear program and then was responsible for the proliferation into the Middle East, we're like, that's fine. Just let him hang, dude. Let him hang out.
We're good. One of my favorites in one live stream equals Fantastic Friday. Thank you all. Thank for all you both do. Sorry, reading ahead. Love supporting you and hearing all perspectives of things. Both of you keep pushing and growing. B, you need that sweater vest ASAP. I do need it.
Thank you, Julie.
I got to get my Professor Barron sweater vest. If TR Hearing is taking a brief break, they come back at 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time. A judge will decide on the media coverage then. Yeah, I'd be surprised if he allows the media coverage to continue, but we'll see. Can't use my chat. It's way at the bottom of the screen under nav symbols. Only this channel used Crown to buy this chat. I'm befuddled. But not by daffodils, you're not. Not by daffodils. I don't know why it's that way. Humans have...
I'm going to mute myself real quick.
Yeah, that's fine. Humans have 24 ribs. Well, good. That's good to know. That is really good to know. If we could leave the planet, no need for bunkers. Yeah, but you can't live... I mean, as of right now, you can't live outside the planet. Human metacarpals look just like those bone on x-rays. We have 5 of them, so they aren't longer than ours. They just have fewer Carbon dating can be faked and highly inaccurate. Wouldn't trust. Yeah, good call. Good call. Jesse on fire. Oh, I don't know what that means. Jesse and Baron, have you considered installing mini split unit into your studios? AC heat. No, I've not. I don't know if Jesse has, but he seems to be talking to Gabrielle. Love your show. Got on late. Thank you for mentioning fentanyl. I carry Noxalone. Marissa's voice, Forever 21. Yeah, I opened the back of my sister's car a few weeks ago when she was here. I was putting something in her trunk, and I opened it up, and there's naloxone, or whatever.
Yeah.
Narcan.
Narcan.
Like 10 of them. And I was like, what in the world is this? And she's like,
save a person's life.
Yeah. You never know when you're going to need it. Why did Mrs. not become Catholic? I'm in classes now. What Mrs.? My Mrs.? My Mrs. is Catholic. She's the most Catholic person I know. I got 8 kids. You don't think she's Catholic? What's up, brother? Just saying, hey, listen, at work, stay positive, brother.
What's up, Sam?
On this one, and I know you got to go in a minute. This whole Tyler Robinson, Charlie Kirk thing, I'm gaining a new respect for Utah. Like, these communities seem amazing to me.
Dude, I lived there for a year.
They are like clean. Like every time, and everyone that talks about it's like, oh, it's heaven on earth. It's the most paradise place ever. We don't have crime. We don't have, like, it's amazing. Like, everybody looks happy. They are
so, like, they're so light, you know, like you walk into like a house where they've got their kids and all of them, you could just see this is a house where if they've got an issue, they calmly talk it out and then smile and hug with each other. And they're all like that, man.
It's like watching TV from the 1950s.
It is exactly like that.
Yeah. The whole state seems like the 1950s. Mm-hmm. Never believe headlines. Good call. The false flag, October 7th, already happened. False. Good call. May have developed nukes since, but we never used them in Nagasaki or Hiroshima, or they would still be radioactive, but they're not. Research it. I've tried. I looked into it.
I mean, why would Japan be on board with pretending that happened? Because they've got like the museums and everything out there. That seems like that'd be tough.
Well, we welcomed them into the 21st century and gave them a bunch of technology and made them an industrial powerhouse.
And all you need to do is tell the world that we nuked your cities.
Yeah. I purchased 100% DMSO. Is that right? How did you use it? Oh, I can't give medical advice. Oh, I know this is not medical advice. Okay, fair enough. Also, thank you for all the high IQ knowledge. Appreciate you and Nurse Casey. Best podcast. Hey, so I did it for my sinuses. So I think it just healed my eyes by accident. But what I did was I put it on a Q-tip and just rubbed it around like towards the top of my nose and gave a good snort. I did that every day for a little while. But research it, please. Don't take my advice. I'm not a doctor. Holy mackerel, I'm not a doctor. Love Baron and Jesse. Tucker did a great interview not long ago with a woman who wrote a book about Oklahoma City and McVeigh. Must see. I saw that. It was good. The Oklahoma City thing was so fake. They already overstepped. The government was making medical decisions with threats attached. Most insane time of my life, and scariest what the BS government officials were doing to people.
Yep.
Were you in Texas? Were you living in Texas at the time?
That's when I moved to Texas because I lived in California, and I was like, now they have infringed to I can't stay here.
Yeah, that's when a lot of people left California. But Baron, you said it was reported the SUV had the door open in the highway and there appeared to be a struggle. I just was reporting what the police scanner said. Do you think Charlie agreed to fake shot? Jesse theory, but then they actually killed him in the SUV. So let me just real quick. I can address this quickly. I've entertained 3 theories. One is it was fake. I entertained that very briefly. I entertained for a little longer period that he intended to fake it and then someone took advantage of it and killed him. And then the theory I've entertained the most is he's dead. And that's the one I currently believe. The faking it and then they killed him makes more sense to me than he's alive. I think they intended to make it, my thought there was they intended to make it look like a chest shot, hit him in the neck, he bled out, and then they finished him off in the car. But I just don't know. I don't know. Grow your own food. That's the best political activism in these perilous times. I've got guns, ammo, food, water, and battery power. I don't live in a siegeable city town. That's freedom.
It's pretty wild that they have the audacity to try to pass laws about what you're allowed to do as it relates to your own land and growing your own food. That's one of the craziest things ever.
I think it's crazy how many power companies have rules that you can't put solar panels on your house. Like you have to buy their power. Like what?
That is one of the most absurd abuses of power I've ever heard.
Yeah, like you have to buy our power. If you put them up there, that's fine, but you have to buy our power.
And here's this product that will allow you to capture your own power. They're like, no, you can't use it.
Yeah. Jiu-jitsu. Love jiu-jitsu. Trained at Pat
Miletich. Yeah, I met and know Pat Miletich. She's a stud.
Went to Anthro Day. I don't know what all these words mean.
He went to another dojo, trained under Gracie, trained master. This has been the best show. Go Max. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. I have to have a jiu-jitsu interpreter.
Yeah, I can do that for you.
Harvey, I appreciate it. Maybe the abbreviations are the problem with Donna. Maybe if you spelled out your words, she'd understand. CO was big prior to Daily Wire. She just hadn't found a way to get her own platform back then. I think Daily took her on to try and control her. BS is jealous and upset because his plan didn't work. Crisis King indeed. BS is the greatest initials, the most descriptive initials of all time for a human being. I've never met somebody whose initials were more descriptive of their person.
Yeah.
There's no oxygen in space, guys, so you wouldn't see all the smoke out there.
You know what's funny is my wife showed me one of the NASA videos that they put up, and they're out on the space station working. You know, maybe you guys saw this, and they torque the wrench, and then when he lets go of the wrench, it falls. Like it just like falls.
Oh, really?
Like you know, the way it would fall if there's gravity, and it's like.
Did you see the one where he was torquing the wrench, but he wasn't putting the wrench on the end of the screw?
I think it's the same one.
Okay.
And then after that, when he let it like the thing swings like it would if there was gravity, and you're like, well, those.
I'm like, he's not screwing anything.
Yeah,
I know how those work. He's not using it. Mortar fired nuke tech was stolen by Tim Walls while he was in the National Guard. Sold to China in the 90s. Stolen.
I mean, the mortar fired nuke tech was just they put the basic. I'm pretty sure it was the gun design into a unit that they fired out of it or whatever.
Cats are great. Hard to argue. Love the off the wall, all over the place conversations. Yeah, that's my life. You guys normally just see me just Jessica. You guys normally just see me prepared with a run and I'm following. And this is how normal people see me. Does Mr. Burrell still play himself as a Navy SEAL and sell NFT?
I have never portrayed myself as a Navy SEAL. I was in business with Navy SEALs, lots of them.
Huge high five to you. Awesome content. Thank you, Jason. Just Jessica. I'm from Florida and was in Crestview this week visiting in-laws. We stopped at BS Airport, let my kids watch planes. My jaw was on the floor last night. Yes, that was where one of the FBI planes was in. My two favorite high IQ copper top podcasters, Crisis King and D. So when I had Zach Costello on, one of the commenters wrote in, she said, "Hey, if there's rust on the roof, there's moisture in the basement or something."
Jeez,
and I was like, Zach, you can't. Zach's so nice. It's like innocent. He's like, I don't get it. I'm like, you can't talk to your wife about that. Copper or Duracells. I hit the like button. I commented. I'm helping Crisis King and D. Jesse, I post the same on all your videos too. I like, comment, and sub.
Thank you so much, man.
Loving the bromance right now. You guys are awesome human beings. I tend to agree.
I agree too.
I tend to agree. I love CO before she worked with BS. I didn't follow her while she was with the Israeli Wire. DW gave me the ick. That's what the kids are saying. I think DW put her behind a paywall to control and silence her as soon as she was fired. Never miss an episode.
The only thing that I would say, like when she was on Daily Wire and they created the structure of her show, like kind of like Oprah or like one of those ones, I was like, they are misusing her talent. She's like, let her go, man. Like
she's smart.
Yeah.
She is smart.
She's crazy.
She often compliments herself on her ability to put puzzles together. I was sitting down talking to her the other day, and I can't even remember what I said. I'm not hiding it from anybody, but I made one comment, just one offhanded comment. She went, stop. And she starts pulling facts out of her brain. And she's like, this was the missing piece. Boom, 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 boom. Now it makes sense. She put this whole puzzle together on the fly. Like, I don't think she was literally listening to me. She was like working on her laptop when I said it. And all of a sudden, this whole story falls out. And then it becomes a story that she did a couple of days later. And it's just incredible what she's able to do. I love CO before she worked with BS. Oh, I already read that. Red or blue healers are the best. Talking about dogs, I guess. Loyal, smart, absolutely amazing. Love my boys, Rebel and Boss. Great show, guys. Love you both. Keep going, Max. Crisis King indeed. I don't know if you saw in the private chat, Daisy put up something that says I argue with my dog every day. And I do. But she wants to go out and then she wants to come in. Then she wants to go out and she wants to come in. It drives me crazy. Crazy.
A lot of times they just want to know that you're paying attention, and it's like that's the one thing that they can control of your behavior is like
she doesn't go out and go to the bathroom. She just goes out and lays down in the yard.
My dog used to always do that, dude.
Looks over the fence for like 30 seconds. She's like, all right, that's enough. And then walks back to the door like, All right, let me in.
Yep.
Drives me nuts. My profile picture is my Jack Russell Terrier, best dog I've ever had. Great show today, Baron and Jesse. Love you guys. Not as much.
Thanks, Sean.
Quick summary of why you think CK is alive. You want to do it in 60 seconds? Yeah, I'll say it. If you can do it in 60 seconds, go for it.
No chance. Impossible.
Does Baron believe that Jeffrey ESPN is still breathing somewhere? I do. Yeah, I don't think he's dead.
What's up, Buzzy?
You think Jeffrey's alive?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I never even entertained that he was dead. From the very beginning, I was like, yeah, right.
I did. I entertained it for a long time. But then after a while, I was like, nah, he's alive. Who did they pull out? Who did they bring out of there?
I don't know, but the guy they pulled out of there has an ear that is very like that
and
corpse. It's not him. It's just not him.
And a different nose.
Yeah, not even that ear on that corpse does not look like any other human being on Earth's ear. Like they picked the most distinct individual's ear to use as that picture. And there's a New York Post
mask.
What's that?
You think they just put a mask over somebody and wheeled them out?
I have no idea, but that ear is not his. And then I don't know. My wife's been watching, like they've been feeding my wife stuff on Instagram of that guy who's in St. Petersburg Pete or whatever that guy's name is.
Oh yeah, Palm Beach Pete.
Palm Beach Pete. They're like, and this is him. And the guy when he talks, he does seem like he's doing a fake voice, kind of.
Yeah, it's compelling.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'd be that brazen to put him on social media.
I'm sure he's I would guess he's exactly where you would guess he is.
My guess is you see a lot of people on a regular basis wearing masks and don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
You put on one of those new masks with sunglasses, you would never know.
And the Jim Carrey, like they had that person get into fake Jim Carrey mask and go to that award show.
Yeah.
Like they really did that.
You don't think that was Jim Carrey?
No, I think that they did the thing, and it was like kind of like I don't think it was some big like I don't know, like what's the right word? Like I don't think it was a big devious thing. I think that they just did it like it was like an inside joke. They're like, hey, why don't you want to be me at this thing or whatever?
That's funny. It was not him.
No, it was not him.
For homeschool tier membership, yeah, we've talked about it. She's actually the one that brought it up. Do super chats sent before feed starts disappear. Thanks, guys. They do time out if you send them too early. But most of them, if they're within like 30 minutes or so, they stay.
I bet RGZ says cats are satanic.
Do what? Oh,
I was just scrolling the thing and someone said cats are satanic.
Hit the like, Christ is King. Everyone have a good weekend. Indeed. About to start sharing videos of UFOs showing up. Okay. I'd like to see them. Jesse, great show with Baron today. Real quickly, UFOs, what are they?
I don't know. I know too many instances of things that are completely unexplainable for them to be just, a lot of people are like, oh, they're us. And I'm like, some of these are not, but I don't know what they are.
Yeah. Where in the world is Ian Carroll? Is he okay? He's fine. I talked to him the other day. He's good.
He's moving, I heard, right?
Yeah. Well, he's a nomad anyway.
I know. He was in Austin when he was moving here. I was talking to him about it, and he's like, it was going to be the longest he'd stayed anywhere for like a really long time, and he was planning on staying here for like 6 months or something. I don't know if he wants. He hasn't announced where he is, so I'm not going to say. No, I have no idea. I know where but he's fine. He's fine. Baron can now comment on your stream. Finally, the crake between you guys is brilliant. I don't know what that means. 2 favorite guys invited into my home to watch and listen to. CRAIC. I don't know what that means. I wish no idea, but I agree if it's good. Yeah, amen. If it's bad, go to hell. The stream made my whole day. Turned off Jesse to come watch Baron and Jesse. Oh, yeah. Already today? Did you stream already today? No, but I put up like 4 pieces of content yesterday, so I was like, I'm not doing anything today. That's enough. Wowza, y'all are the best. Just a 1-hour talk show monthly from you two. Would be so cool. See you Sunday, Baron. Oh, I got a good show coming up Sunday night. We're getting towards the bottom here. I will resend super. If you have to jump, let me know. But we're getting through it. I'll resend super chat. My husband told me last night the head of the Bank of Vatican was previously CEO of Rothschild Group. He said Vatican owes Israel money, is compromised. Upset me a lot. I don't know much about that. I know there is a Rothschild connection to the new head of Vatican Bank. California RN for homeless here. Only program I say is legit helping homeless is Micah Mission. Take no government money. Hope it's okay to share this. Anyone want to donate this? I stand by. Real help changing lives. Thank you, Colleen. I appreciate that. That's good information. Calling Zach's wife Helen Keller because she couldn't know his hair color was rude and unnecessary. If it has
Ben, your wife being mocked, you probably wouldn't have liked it either. I would have thought it was hilarious. If someone said that, I would have thought it was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Oh,
so I could not disagree more. And Zach has a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
I just realized I dated myself with my super chat. That's okay, Harvey. I'm not going to hold it against you. Jesse says, you say Charlie's alive. What's your point of teaming up with Mr. Barron and stop cursing family teenagers watching that?
I apologize for that part.
He did, and he didn't mean to. Jesse, thoughts on Princess Diana death?
I've never looked into it, but my wife is actually a UK dual citizen, and I mean she's got thoughts on it, but I couldn't quote her very accurately, so I won't. I don't know.
Cabot looking for a buccal swab, allegedly. Is that a tip, or are you just making that up? Then he's the one with pizza on his lip.
That is one of the funniest stories that Ken has told ever.
Yes, about running into him and he pulls his lip out. Here's my tattoo.
Here's my tattoo. It's like, yeah, I know. We know that tattoo. We covered it.
Well, she never has.
She hadn't. Well, I did. I will happily. I'll go. Yeah, I know it's there. Could you explain why you got that? Were you unaware of the implications of that? Given that you got it in 2018, you weren't around during 2016 when that whole thing happened.
Love you guys. Watch you both for ages. My dog has nasal cancer just now. I've got him on fenbenzidole, so I'll let you know regarding past mummies. Anyone seen Fittest Flat Earther talking about fallen angels? Christ is King. I have not seen that. Christ is King indeed. The fenbenzidole. Mix in some what's the other one they're talking about? Oh gosh. Ivermectin. Mix some ivermectin in there with it. See if that works. We'll just use your dog as a science experiment. I'm a recovering addict with almost 5 years now clean from opiates. After using for 20 years, I turned to God and he has changed my life. Christ is King indeed. Can I admit something very embarrassing? I don't know the difference between opiates and opioids. I hear it both ways, and I don't know. Why do they have two words?
I think technically opiates are actual derivatives of opium from the plant, and then opioids are synthetic version, but it's the same. It's pretty much the same thing.
Okay. Well, that's boring. I was hoping you'd say they just.
But congratulations, dude.
Yeah. My 15-year-old has a disorder that causes frequent large kidney stones.
Ooh.
Paid meds for her makes us feel like evil drug addicts. The medical system treats us awfully. I can imagine.
That has got to be incredibly painful, though.
My commission. Yeah, you came back with fewer abbreviations this time. Thank you. My father-in-law has beat pancreatic cancer twice with ivermectin and fenben at the same time as chemo. The oncologist still advises against it. Of course he does. My father's oncologist said he had a patient whose cancer was no longer treatable, came back in for a PET scan 6 months after his last visit, cancer-free. He used ivermectin, now living cancer-free. I'm telling you, these stories, I keep hearing these over and over. Two of my favorite male podcasters. Keep up the good work. I guess that puts us behind all the females.
Well, behind one of them for sure.
Yeah. All right. I'll allow it. My sister's calling me. Apparently she's not watching. Friend went from stage 4 to untraceable cancer with daily vitamin C, etc. infusions, a prayer group, and minimal pinpoint radiation, 5 years cancer-free. I used to take, when I was on the radio, one of the advertisers, one of these infusion clinics. And so part of my pay was they give you so many hundreds of dollars a month that you can use there for free. Mm-hmm. And I used it all on vitamin C. And I would walk in, they were like, you want how much? I'm like, I want 20 grams. And they're like, really? I'm like, yes, I got 20 grams a week of IV vitamin C. I felt like a freaking king.
Yeah.
I mean, freaking king. I don't think you can overdose on it. I've never felt better in my life.
That's
20
awesome.
grams. No one else would do it. And I'm like, all right, I won't read your ads. They're like, all right, fine. Just common sensing it. Jesse, I've enjoyed having you and look forward to having you again. RBP members only lives are for grand jury eyes and ears only. So at $13 a month, you owe us $325 each for streaming, but we will let you slide this time. Okay.
Thank you. You
owe them all money. Hi, Friday Baron. Love watching my humble host. Thank you, Short Coin. I appreciate that. You need to look at your duct system. We just did. It's like you have a vent damper problem, which is easy to or clean registers.
Are you talking about ours? Because we just had our ducts done and we had to do like a mold removal.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Is that why your sinuses are messed up?
No, my sinuses weren't messed up. I was getting dental implants, and they needed to do a sinus raise bone graft so that they can put screw it in. Yeah. I had no idea the gravity of what that procedure actually was, which I'm glad, because I might not have done it because it
I
was
remember
so
you
gnarly.
came back the next day and you looked like you'd been stung by a bee. And
Oh
hit
my
the
God, it
face.
hurt so bad. It was just miserable, man.
Thoughts on fittest flat earth? I don't know. Use ground.
Is that the guy who does the ones where he says that like the current, like this guy is Andrew Jackson, you know, or like George Washington is now this person? Because I'm very entertained by that Instagram account.
Oh, is it Tyler Hansen? Is that who it is? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought they were talking about Taylor Hansen. I was like, that used to be a
Let me see if it's the same guy. Hold on.
Yeah, it's a guy who apparently is a flat earther, but he's also very fit. Never heard of him.
Yeah, it's that guy. That's exactly what I was talking about. He does these things where it's like, so Jeffrey Epstein is actually Andrew Jackson, and they just kind of like switch eras and like look how much they look alike. It's like these.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's great, dude.
I have Andrew Jackson on my wall back here. I'll check that out. Oh, great live stream. Love both your channels. Thank you. Thank you and your crew for keeping this investigation alive. I look forward to your shows every day. God bless and Christ is King. Thank you.
Thank you.
Indeed. Members of both you guys, Jesse, you had Alan Belcher on before. My husband is one of his coaches.
Oh, nice, dude. I love Alan. Alan's a stud. He's a heavyweight. He was a heavyweight bare knuckle champion and a UFC stud. He's a badass.
Good to know. Thank you for that generous contribution, Sabrina. Jesse has a big heart, and I get why he wants to believe Charlie's alive. The Island Files is also so hard to think about. It's so gross. Good show.
That is exactly accurate. That is exactly what I would believe. I can't live in a world where that many people who are best friends with a person would betray them on that level. Like, I can't live in that world. I can't.
Yeah, money does weird things to people. People shoot people over $5, you know. Love you guys. Keep the conversation going so we can educate all about fentanyl. I lost my son forever, 29, Colin. Well, rest in peace, Colin. We'll pray for the repose of his soul, Lisa, and you as well. Thank you. Fentanyl's the leading cause of death for 18 to 45-year-old. We should all be concerned. Is that true? Is it the leading cause of death?
That is wild.
Oh my gosh.
I bet, and then it after 45, it's probably heart disease or something, but from 18 to 45, that actually completely makes sense.
Gosh, that's tragic.
Isn't that insane?
I got excited when I heard golf. I thought he was going to be something from the Masters. Love you both. I love both of your energy. Zing on, truth seekers. Christ is King indeed. Yeah, the Masters was last weekend. I've gotten out of touch with news. Candace dreaming about bees, the bee invasion in Israel. Now 1 million bees released today in Tennessee. They released 1 million bees. We have plenty of bees. They're all over my backyard.
Wait, is that what it was? She dreamed about it? Because someone sent me that article about the Israeli bee thing, and they were like, and so like the commentary was like, there's no way Candace was right about this, and I didn't know the reference. So that explains that, I guess.
I don't know what she very early on in the Charlie Kirk investigation, she said she had a dream about bees. I didn't know they released 1 million bees. They're all in my backyard right now. I was out there with my dog earlier and she was trying to bite them. I was like, don't do that.
Yeah, you're not going to like what happens.
Just let them go. Let them go. I think Balix Tones was pressured to go after Kansas, and he hoped it would be obvious to us that he didn't mean it if he went way over the top. Well, he did. He did go way over the top. Alp or knick-knack? Sobriety rocks since 9/11/23. I have knickknacks. I don't dislike them, but I have another preference.
What's Alp?
Alp is Tucker Carlson's nicotine pouch.
Oh, my wife likes those. Yeah.
Hi, Baron Jesse, new member here. I'm loving the members live. Thanks for all the great work you do. Christ is King. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
One of the test subjects for ADHD and Ritalin usage in 1991. My mom did listen to me when I said I wanted to stop. 8 years later, I'm 41. Wow. Test subject. Can you imagine testing drugs on kids? That's crazy. I can never call them anything other than chicken tendies now. Christ is King. Thank you for all you do. Praying for everyone on the side of truth. It's not my fault the man went for, this is a Tyler Robinson reference. He went to Dairy Queen, he had a box of chicken tendies and a blizzard. I'm like, you didn't just assassinate somebody. That's not how anyone celebrates. He goes and gets his car washed. He goes and gets a box of chicken tendies. 100%, a bunch of emojis. They need soldiers. Cost too much money to treat root issue. Dude, my two favorite guys streaming live. Hell yes.
Dude, all the people that like both of us are very, very attractive.
It's you. It's not me.
I mean,
I saw the coolest thing in my local health department. They have an old vending machine outside with Narcan and fentanyl testing strips, all for free. As a recovering addict, I was so happy.
yeah, the Narcan thing about them just distributing that the way that they do, I think is awesome. But my buddy who was an EMT in Vegas for a while told me, he said every time they would Narcan an addict, they would wake up and they would be like, "What's your problem, man?" They'd be mad. They'd be mad that they Narcaned them because they killed their high. They were like literally dying.
Well, you can like literally kill someone with Narcan because it releases it all from the receptors at once, and it can send them into like a tremendous withdrawal.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I knew Suboxone did that. I didn't know that Narcan.
You need medical attention if you're going to hit somebody with it. Watch What History in School Didn't Teach You About the American Indian by Matt Walsh. They were pretty ruthless. Appreciate both of y'all. Love Sean.
Oh, I'll check that out. Oh, yeah, of course.
They were ruthless, and I found that out when I did my reading. But if you look at the history, the reason they were ruthless was the Little Ice Age. It pushed all the northern Indians down into the southern part of North America, and now they're trampling all over each other's territory. Yes, they were savages. I mean, but you know what? So were Europeans.
Humans are all savages.
Yeah. I mean, the war, death, disease, destruction. I mean, bondage, slavery. That is the human condition. You know,
love and being protective of the people you love is one of the most common drivers of absolute sheer evil in many cases.
Yeah. Chronic and severe chronic pain and medical fentanyl gave me my life back. I drive and do all things with no druggy feeling or intoxicating feeling. There's a place for this medication that help. I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all.
Yeah, I don't think it's on the street. New video from AJ to DJT. I haven't seen that.
Wait, AJ is
Alex Jones to Donald Trump.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that for sure. Yeah.
That sounds like a react.
Yeah. For some reason, YouTube loves when I do those. When I go, Alex Jones torched him, they're like, we're gonna show this to everybody. That's like the only topic I do now where YouTube's like, he's a thought leader on this.
Yeah.
You know, Alex Jones torched this guy and Jesse's gonna react to it. Everybody's gonna want to hear this.
For Jesse, as someone who has 8 years clean from opiates, I really dislike the fact that Jesse promoted Kratom. Is that something you still promote? Is Kratom
the only thing first of all, I never talk about what it is ever. I've never spoken about what it is ever. I talk about a single place where people who use it can buy it, and they only sell the powder form, not any kind of extract, none of it. Because I use it, and it's one of the main reasons I've been able to never, ever, ever take pills.
I don't even know what it is. Don't
worry about it. Doesn't matter.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is. Great broadcasting voices. Love you both. Thank you. Thank you. Utah is nice. People are still a little Stepford wives vibes, and they don't know how to drive. Love you guys. Well, no one knows how to drive, and that's just human. I had a client say her nephew's been deployed to Africa. Why do you think that is? Because they want to take over the oil in Sudan and Nigeria. That's precisely why it is. Hey, if people are deployed somewhere, there's a mineral in the ground we want. That's the only reason they would be there. Mm-hmm. They're not deployed for limestone. They're not deployed for trees. They're deployed for mineral wealth.
We have a shocking low interest in large plots of land where there's nothing in the ground that we care about.
Yeah. I mean, the Amazon is largely terrible soil. I mean, and we don't do any wars down there, What does Barron think about CK Hollywood production about? I don't know what that means. CK Hollywood production.
I think he's you've already answered. I think he's asking about the fake, that they juked it.
Nah, I don't believe it. We want Candace, Barron, and Jesse together, please. Man, that'd be amazing, but you got to deal with her schedule, and she's a mom of 4 young kids who homeschools them, has one of the top 5 podcasts in the world. It's hard to get her to agree to do anything. But Baron in the house. Love me some high IQ. Crisis King indeed. Jesse on fire. Where'd that name come from?
When I started the TikTok, I was like, I got to think of something. And it just popped in my head. And I was like, that's kind of cool. And I just started it. And it was one of those things just felt right out of the gate.
Interesting. Sorry, but if it's rust on the roof, there's more.
Come on.
Sorry, I can't. That must have been this person. That's funny. This is so fun to watch. Wish I could spend more moolah, but AK living is spendy. Oh, that's our number 1 fan in Alaska. Much love to both from your best Indigenous Alaska supporter. Christ.
Thank you.
Hey, if you ever want to open an 8A Alaskan Native company, call me. Instant government money overnight. So if I had Alaskan Native heritage, I would instantly be opening a government contracting business. I don't recall ever hearing why you started hanging the rosary, but I love how your enemies have to stare at Jesus when they spy on you. One of my listeners made it. It's beautiful. I mean, it's like real thick and heavy, handmade metal and like stone. And so I thought it was beautiful. So I hung it up. You can't see it right here. I'll show you. It's back there in the corner, back there. Hello to both my daily listen to men. You're welcome. You want me to make it bigger? You bringing someone in?
Yeah. This little baby.
Oh, hey, is that your future podcaster?
This is.
Yeah. Are you going to be a broadcaster?
She does like my Raycon ads with like, I just brought her in for one Raycon ad and it was like, okay, read this line. And she did it. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Excellent execution, child. What's up, Ethan?
If my eyes were better, I could read better, but the words are so small on my screen.
Yeah.
Love you, bro. This is person saying HRC's brother. I think they're saying that's who they wheeled out of the place instead of Epstein. And that could be.
Hillary Clinton's brother?
Yeah, Roger Clinton was Clinton's brother. Rodham, what was his name? Hugh Rodham, I think was his name. Let's see here. Love you both. Thank you. Both love. Thank you. Howdy, gents. I'll have to watch later. Crazy weather. Transplanting tomatoes today. Interesting. Much love to you both and your families. Thank you for what you both do. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Love you both. Love Jesus first, though. Then y'all, bros. Look at green hoodies. They are the two Tylers and have clothing in their hoods. Have pics. Electrocution definite due to 2 small burns on hand and death grip on Mike.
Barron is the one who showed me the burns on the hand.
Yeah.
And then the burns on the hand in the funeral thing. I'd never seen that.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of that. I got to be honest. I don't know what to do with that.
Those are burns. They look like burns to me. The guys in the green hoodies though, got in touch with me and they were like, dude, we're soccer players. I was like, okay, well, whatever. I don't even know that reference. Yeah. There were 2 guys in green hoodies, but they were soccer players wearing their soccer.
Hunter Kozak got in touch with me.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He, cause I had offered him $20K to do a polygraph. And so I did it enough that people started putting pressure on him on X. And then, so I did a video that was like, he's warming up for whatever he's going to do on video. So he hit me up and he just, played his case and then told me to take it down. This is before I was on the.
Did he take the 20 grand?
No, he said he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it because because he had done research and there's 20% false positive. And so he didn't want to risk it in case he got a false positive for $20K, but neither here nor there. He asked me to take it down. It's like, I don't know, man. Like once you talk to a guy, it's like, just like anything else, right? It's easy to be like, they're bad guys. But then whenever you end up like meeting a person, usually 80% of the time, you're like, they're all right. And just the thought of like, if he didn't have anything to do with it, and it's like, and I'm putting this on him, I was like, I'll take him down. But
I'd take the 20. I'll throw in 10.
For sure. I would have taken the 20. I'd have been like, even if I do fail, give me that 20.
Yeah. Crake, Irish pronounced crack means great time. Oh, I didn't know that. Crake is Irish for good conversation, enjoyable company. Man, I had no idea we were so big in Ireland.
Happy birthday, baby Jay. I saw what you said.
Where? Oh.
No. It's just in the thing.
Which countries could most easily survive a global economic crash? America, Russia, China, Brazil. I wonder if in Anchorage, Trump and Putin made a secret deal to crush the European economy. I don't know. That's outside of my ability.
I don't know.
Theory. Kirk said he loved Mormons. USU has a CIA program, possible behind a lot of psyops. Said yes to job. Fingers crossed behind back. Gave info to Charlie since fellow Christian and TR would be harmed. Tight-knit community. Sorry for what he said.
There's all kind of CIA stuff around the case that like I hit Barron up the other day with what we thought was like some huge, find related to, with Lance. And it was like just weird stuff that you can't really put together. It's hard to wrap your fingers around.
Yeah.
What?
Anyone wonder if all 11 scientists are hiding in bunkers because something big is about to happen. So, of course, they take the smartest first. Jesse, maybe that's where CK and his kids are too.
I mean, with the scientists, I'm open to the entire thing being a psyop. I'm open to it being something bad's happening. I don't know. I have no idea. I know I don't like it. I don't like it.
That's kind of terrifying though, because you're right. They probably would have like a Noah's Ark with the people they want. And they would need young people and they need smart people that can fire up nuclear power plants as soon as everything got reset. I would love to know what true numbers of deceased white military-aged men due to fentanyl. It's a lot.
A lot, yeah.
Probably 1 million. Please sell hoodies that say, don't touch my buccal. That sounds like a good one. Hi, Baron. Received my Whole Please mug. Love it. Thank you, Baron and Jesse, for a great show. You're welcome. I'm glad you like the mug. They're amazing mugs. Tilly, no spicy sky raisins. Oh, yes. Yes, that's my dog, Tilly. I didn't know that bees were spicy sky raisins, but if she ever catches one, she'll find out. My 2 favorite gingers. Love to see y'all doing lives together. Thank you. Naloxone blocks the opioid receptors in the brain. Well, thank you, Amy Marissa's voice 501c3. Appreciate that. Baron, my sister is sad you are married. I pray she finds a high IQ outfit. Like I've been married for 25 years. I've been married.
I've been married for 17.
Yeah, we're getting old.
Is that right?
That means.
Yeah.
Do you have any gray hair in your beard if you grow it out?
Nah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like,
look at this. This is incredible.
All I look at is that, son.
That's funny. My 2 favorite redheads. Happy from the UK. Thank you, Jesse. Now woke up Baron about Hunter. I've been awake about Hunter.
Listen, he turned down $20K to take a polygraph, dude.
I'm gonna offer him 30. If he'll take it. There's a number at which he would do it.
You would think.
Yeah. Last one. Hey, y'all looking to a mini split for your filming room. I solved the temp issue. Have a wonderful weekend. That's a good way to end. Have a wonderful weekend. Jesse, thank you.
Thank you.
3
Whatever
hours.
you want.
3 hours flew by.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say to them on the end where they can find you?
No, I mean, if Jesse on Fire is YouTube, and then on any of the other socials, Real Jesse on Fire. As a matter of fact, actually, yeah. If you guys would like to support my efforts on X and Instagram, Real Jesse on Fire, that would be amazing.
Go follow him. Go go subscribe. Like his videos. Subscribe if you watch him. Don't be a cheapskate.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right. Thanks, Baron. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Later.